starts all over again.
The GHSA Football State Championships are presented by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety, reminding you to buckle up, Georgia, as we welcome you back to Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. And it is the Class A Division I Championship as the Swainsboro Tigers and the Prince Avenue Wolverines run it back again in a rematch of the 2022 State Championship. And good afternoon. I'm Matt Stewart, joined by our recruiting expert, Rusty Mansell of On3.com. And what an entertaining game we saw from these two teams a year ago. Prince won 52-34. Final score not indicative of how close that game was. And if you watch this game today, it's going to look a lot like, from a uniform standpoint, Michigan versus Army. And stylistically, it's going to be played that way, too.
Yeah, you look at both of these teams. Prince Avenue in the Michigan helmet wants to throw the ball, and then you look at Swainsboro. They definitely want to run the football and get downhill with their explosive athletes.
Let's talk about Prince Avenue going for their second straight state championship, their third in 4 years. They're playing in their fourth consecutive state final. They're led by their quarterback, three-star Aaron Philo, committed to Georgia Tech. And Rusty, he goes into his final game of his high school football career just 301 yards away from breaking Trevor Lawrence's record.
Amazing. He's done that in 3 years now. He's only been a starter for 3 years. Matt, when you look at this, there's nothing he hasn't seen at the high school level. He's ultra confident. I watched him do a walkthrough. He led a walkthrough in the hallway. I walked down and watched him. He's leading plays. He's been there. He's done that. He wants to win a state championship in this building.
Defensive side of the ball, the Wolverines led by legit four-star junior Christian Garrett, rated as high as the number 9 defensive tackle in the country 2025, 13 offers, including Georgia.
When you see that size, Matt, 6'5", 275, I call that a 1 percentile. There's only 1 percentile high school defensive lineman looks like that. Georgia, Auburn, Tennessee, Alabama, everybody in on him early in the 2025 class.
All right, Swainsboro back in the state championship for a second consecutive year, going for their second all-time title. They won their one and only back in the year 2000. They're also led by a four-star quarterback, but he's a four-star cornerback, rated as high as the number 3 cornerback in the country. DeMello Jones committed to Georgia.
If you want to know the word dynamic athlete, you look at DeMello Jones, a 6'2", 180 pound. He's a 6'6" high jumper. He's a state champion in track. He's trying to finish it off, and you look why Georgia wanted him. There's only 1 percentile of those type of cornerbacks in around the country.
And on the defensive side of the ball, led at linebacker by LaMarcus Webb, over 150 tackles this season.
You don't have to go back far. You go back to last week, he had 18 tackles in the semifinals against Brooks County. Listen, Matt, he doesn't have the stars. He doesn't have all the offers. This is a young man. If he comes out and plays today, it truly can be a life changer for him.
Hits everything that moves, waiting to see what happens here as Swainsboro and Prince Avenue run it back again. Now to the third member of our broadcast team, Autumn Johnson. She's down on the sideline.
Thanks, guys. Well, as you can imagine, it is hard getting to the championship stage, and Prince Avenue is 1 out of 8 programs to do that. So I asked head coach Greg Vandergriff, what's the winning formula? What's the secret sauce? And he told me it's like building a house. You just keep adding something nice and new every single year. And in his case, it's been great coaches and also an influx of great players. They've created a great scheme to put them in a great position. They play hard, they play fast, and that level of play is hard to keep up with. But Swainsboro, the speed that they have, they possess, can be challenging, and they have something to say about that because that loss in last year's championship game sticks with them. They've been talking about it since after Christmas break, and they want redemption in this game to complete the job.
Autumn, you're right. It has been their motivation, Rusty, for 365 days.
I saw a game 2 weeks ago, Matt. Walton came into Carrollton, and they thought about that for 365 days, and they played out of their minds. Let's see what Swainsboro, because their head coach made it no secret to us. They've been thinking about Prince Avenue since that night.
And there is DeMello Jones. He is standing deep along with Jordan Williams and Quinn Brown. Swainsboro won the toss, elected to receive, and the opening kickoff is brought to you by Buckle Up Georgia. Buckle Up Georgia. Seatbelts save lives. That was Gerard Stewart on the return. A short kick. They didn't kick it deep. No surprise there. 12-yard return. We get to see the Tigers on offense to start the game.
Coach Vandergriff told us if they kick it deep to him, that kicker's coming out of the game.
So here is Swainsboro, 12-2 overall. They were 8-0 and then lost the last 2 games of their region schedule. Coach Scott Roberts said it was a wake-up call for his kids. Bleckley and Dublin beat them. That means they had to play on the road 4 consecutive weeks to get here to the state championship. And DeMello Jones out of the shotgun. Going to run behind Gerard Stewart, his fullback. Yes, that's right. They play with a fullback in Swainsboro. A 2-yard pickup for DeMello Jones. Let's take a look at the Regions Bank starting lineup for the Tigers up front. Tarver, Ricks, Palmer, who's the longtime starter, Long and Worthen. And the backs and the receivers. Quinn Brown's a guy, got offers from Coastal Carolina and UAB, and that's a look at the rest of the specialists. The guys are going to touch the ball for the Tigers today.
I thought it was interesting. Coach Vandergriff told us he expects to have a run fit miss early in the game because they just have to adjust to the speed.
Well, it happened to him last year in the state championship when Ty Adams was playing quarterback. He went to North Carolina where he's a cornerback. Unfortunately, broke his hand this year, didn't get a chance to play. As we take a look at the Wolverines on defense, Head, Garrett, Durning, and Pittman. Pittman had a great season on that second line. You're going to have Bobo. That is the son of Mike Bobo, the offensive coordinator for the Bulldogs. Bradley and Giddens, both of them 143 tackles on the season. Dockery, Scoggins, Talmadge, and Darling in the secondary. What you won't see in that secondary is a lot of size.
Yes. We'll talk about a key injury they had a couple of weeks ago. They lost their 6-foot corner. We'll talk about that a little bit later. That may be something to remember down the line.
So 3rd down and 6. And Edenfield in there to throw the ball. Going to take a sack. And the ball is out. It's recovered by Prince Avenue. Austin Head gets on top of it. When they want to throw the ball, they bring in Cason Edenfield, the sophomore. He got crushed. Austin Head comes up with a fumble recovery.
Man, they have been ready for this. Just watch him come off the edge. Good job. Beats the block with his hands and finishes that. I believe that's number 15.
It was Pittman.
Yes, Blaine Pittman. Great job of beating the pass pro of the left tackle for Swainsboro. Got his hands off of him and just came around the edge for the sack. Turnover early, and here comes Philo, senior quarterback, Georgia Tech commit.
Look at those numbers. Close to 4,300 yards passing, 53 touchdowns, 8 interception. Rusty, don't be surprised if they take a shot at the end zone on this play.
No doubt.
Coming off the turnover. Instead going to run a sweep play to Cosby, and Cosby's going to get about a yard on the play down to the 36. That's Connor Cosby, their senior running back, and that was LaMarcus Webb making the first of what will be many tackles here today. Atha at the corner, offered by UCF, the left tackle, the corner of the offensive line. Townsend, Head, Chandler, and Mitchell. They got some legit size for a single A school up front.
Had Jake Atha in the Georgia Elite Classic last year, 2-year starter for them.
And so we had Hudson Hill in the Georgia Elite Classic. I called his game. He's now a 9th grader and their leading receiver. Wide open, touchdown Prince. Ball goes to C.J. Dockery, 36 yards, and the Wolverines take 2 plays to get on the board.
So dangerous, man. This quarterback can make every throw. Weren't able to get to him. Watch him just drop this one in. It's too much time, and that's on the money. Let him clear out on that post route. Touchdown early, Prince.
12th touchdown reception of the season for C.J. Dockery, and the 54th touchdown pass for Aaron Philo. And Tyler Denny on for the PAT. He pumps it through, and a 7-0 lead for Prince.
That's how quick they can score, Matt. That's how quick they can jump on you. And you know Swainsboro had to know we got to get pressure. They're dropping 8 right there, 7 and 8, and Prince anticipated that. But in the end, that arm strength and being able to put it on the money.
Well, we talked about the passing record. The other record that's up for grabs here in this game is the state single season touchdown passing record, which is 56. And now Philo stands at 54 with that touchdown pass right there. 2 plays, 37 yards on the drive after the fumble recovery by Head to recap your Governor's Red Ribbon Campaign scoring drive.
Yeah, they're definitely not going to kick this thing deep. I want to see if Swainsboro adjusts to that and move DeMello Jones around a little bit, see if they can't sneak a touch out of him.
Kick going to be caught at the 31-yard line. And LaMarcus Webb on the return, about a 10-yard return up to the 41. So Swainsboro good field position after giving up the touchdown. Let's check in with Autumn Johnson.
Hey guys, well, as you mentioned, quarterback Aaron Philo is looking to secure another title and is in the running for a career state record for passing yards. He's amongst names like Trevor Lawrence, Deshaun Watson, Jake Fromm, and Gunnar Stockton. And I asked Coach Vandegrift what legacy has he created for himself here. He said Aaron has picked up the torch and made his own path. He pushes guys to be better. His leadership has been everything and more for the team, and it would mean the world to him to see him accomplish this.
Well, he was a little bit nervous when Athens Christian forfeited their first-round playoff game rather than play them.
Yep.
They lost a game right there, and that's crucial as he chases this record. So Edenfield in there to play quarterback, and to throw it to DeMello Jones on the screen. Watch out! There goes DeMello Jones, and that's what he can do. Swainsboro's tied it back up, or at least pulled it within one. 59 yards on the play.
You want to talk about an explosive athlete. Just a quick screen to DeMello Jones. He makes one guy miss, and he takes this thing to the house. Great block on the edge. One guy, and nobody on Prince is going to catch him. He did this to him last year in the first half.
Yeah. Well, they'll be going for two the entire day. They stopped kicking PATs during the season when Coach Scott Roberts got frustrated with the misses. They scored 24 points against Brooks with 3 touchdowns.
Wow.
3 touchdowns and 3 two-point conversions. He says, look, you know, if you can convert 1 out of 3, it's just as good.
Yeah.
So Jones back in there to take the snap. Gonna hand it off. Not anything gonna do on that one as Stewart gets stopped after a short gain on the play. That was actually Jabias Smith, number 9, the freshman running back, who gets stopped on the 2-point conversion. So I jumped the gun when I said they tied it. It's 7-6.
7-6. Nice play there by Jake Bobo, setting the edge and stopping that 2-point conversion.
Well, Rusty, we've played less than 3 minutes. We've had 2 scores.
Welcome to the Benz, baby.
Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is presented by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety, reminding you to be safe on every trip. Buckle up, Georgia.
Sweetheart, please don't forget to wear your seatbelt.
I got it, Mom.
It's a really nice day, living in the right space. Breathing your grace, got me feeling some kind of way.
In the blink of an eye, so many tomorrows can disappear. Buckle up for your future, every trip, every time. A message from the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
High school seniors, your Georgia Match letters have been mailed and the possibilities are endless. Visit your student dashboard on gafutures.org to see which of the 45 colleges and universities made your list and claim your spot today.
In lively towns and peaceful rural areas, Georgia's electric membership cooperatives are on a mission to provide a different kind of electricity. Our not-for-profit, member-owned EMCs are focused on making life better for members. At private residences, farms, and thriving businesses, we work for you. Generating safe, reliable, affordable electricity, giving back to local programs, serving our members to make life brighter. Georgia's EMCs, so much more than electricity.
Over here.
Well, if you were looking for fireworks on a Monday afternoon, you got them. Prince Avenue on top of Swainsboro. 7-6, less than 3 minutes into our Class 1A Division I championship.
And it didn't take long for the Georgia Tech commit to impact the game, and it didn't take long for the Georgia Bulldog commit to impact the game.
No doubt, this is a true rivalry extending beyond the high school borders.
Man.
As the 2 top players, arguably for both teams, are Georgia Tech commits that'll be signing with their team. And we are just, 9 days away from National Signing Day.
and we'll discuss this, a lot of these kids are going to enroll kind of in this next weekend.
Cosby takes the kick at the 13-yard line, heads to the wide side. Cosby trying to get around the corner, going to run out of bounds at the 31-yard line, and that's where Prince Avenue is going to put the ball in play for the second time today. That was an 18-yard return by Cosby. Let's take a look at Swainsboro on defense. It's brought to you by Regions Bank. Aiden Foskey, their leading tackler up there, right at 8 TFL on the season. That linebacking core for the Tigers, just a ton of tackles. Every one of them has over 100 tackles coming in. And in the secondary, Bryson Tarver, a name to watch at the free safety position, 72 tackles. And, of course, DeMello Jones, the aforementioned number 3 rated cornerback in the country. I don't know that he'll get a lot of work in his direction in this game. They'll have to move him around and try to get him some shots at the football. Handoff on the play, and about an 8-yard pickup on the run by Cosby, who rushed for 880 yards coming into this game.
Very efficient, big offensive line. If you want to watch the difference in Prince Avenue the last 2 or 3 years, it is the size of their offensive line in this classification. Those are big boys.
Philo out of the pocket, going to wing it out here to Cosby. Couldn't hold on to it. Cosby a big part of their passing game too. 42 catches for Cosby out of the backfield this season. In fact, Rusty, they have 6 players on their roster with 31-plus catches.
Yeah, you don't get to 13,000 passing yards without some people with some stats, that's for sure. See Greg Vandergriff there.
96-12, and this his 8th season as the head coach. They've won 4 straight region titles, going for their 3rd state championship in 4 years. 3rd down and 2 right here. Philo going to run for the first down, across the 50 down to the 46. And that's something we've seen from Philo this year that we had not necessarily seen from him in years past. Over 500 rushing yards for Philo.
Yeah, big body kids, 190 pounds, 6'2", but you know, in the past, Vandergriff said he was a little hesitant because of the backup quarterback. Now they have a junior who, Jake Bobo, now at Prince Avenue, he can play some, so got a little more confidence there.
Toss sweep goes to Cosby, and he's going to pick up the first down. And let's see, do we have a flag come in late? They were looking for it over there on the Prince sideline.
Yeah, most times you don't get that there. Yep.
That was Shannon Benjamin, the cornerback, who hit him late.
Dead ball, personal foul, defense, 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
Terry Weingard, our referee, 15-yard penalty going against Swainsboro. Going to put the ball down at the 20. We haven't even discussed this aspect of today's game. There is replay review available. It's such an old story. I mean, we've known about this was coming,
sure,
but this is really just the
first game ever in the state finals.
Yeah, first game ever in the state finals.
With it.
5th game ever, because Ford and the Corky Kell had it. As the ball goes underneath on the drag route and down to the 11-yard line on the catch and run right there by Hudson Hill.
See the ability of Philo to be able to throw the ball anywhere on the field. The velocity that comes out of his hand, it's such a weapon in high school football, specifically on this level of high school football. Kids are having to play both ways. Again, look at him directing traffic. There's not a defense he hasn't seen.
2nd down and 1. Cosby runs for the first down, tries to get to the edge, goes to the short side, and Webb runs him out of bounds as he grabs his ankle. And it's going to be 1st and goal to go for Prince.
Good job just bouncing that one outside and getting anything. You want to watch that ball, get it to your outside hand. He got there late, but got to be careful running parallel with the line of scrimmage there with the ball in your near hand.
7th play of the drive coming up. First and goal to go. Cosby finds a cutback lane and gets stopped at the 1-yard line. Gerard Stewart stonewalls him, doesn't let him get into the end zone, but a big game by Cosby. They've been running the ball very well here in this opening quarter.
Look at this big offensive line. They just pull the guard, pull the H-backs, called a GH counter, and they just lock on that second level. And it's really 7 yards, Matt, before anyone gets a hold of the running back. And that's the size we talked about of that Prince Avenue offensive line.
Second down and goal from the 1. Power backfield set. Cosby goes in motion. Instead, they hand off to Mac Bradley, and he gets in for the touchdown. So Mac Bradley does get to score a rushing touchdown. After all, was in the running back room a year ago, went to Coach Vandergriff in the offseason, says, I want to play linebacker.
Yeah.
And he's playing linebacker, one of their top tacklers, gets the ball here and scores in the state championship game.
Man, they just double team there, that nose guard, and drive him 3 or 4 yards into the end zone to make that an easy touchdown for Prince Avenue.
And a 14-6 lead for Prince Avenue as they've scored on their opening 2 possessions. Impressive, exactly what you expected to see out of the Wolverines.
Yeah, you had to think, if you're Swainsboro, we got to win a shootout. We got to find ways to score, and they certainly did. But, man, they're going to have their hands full today with that quarterback right there and that offensive line and dealing with them for 4 quarters.
It'll be interesting to see as Swainsboro gets to go back on offense. Are we going to see more of what we saw on the last touchdown with DeMello Jones, getting him out at the wide receiver spot? And Edenfield might get a lot of snaps today because that might be your best bet to get DeMello Jones in space, and we've already seen what he can do once he does.
If I'm sitting there, I'm not going to overthink it. It can be one and done with number 1. Let's get him as many touches as we can. They want to be really careful with him. He cramped up last year, Matt.
Yeah.
And they want to be in this state championship game. They want to be really careful with him on his early touches. But at some point, everything goes through number 1 for Swainsboro.
Any chance they had at getting the victory against Prince last year died when DeMello Jones got cramped up in that game. And that's the return by Skylar Coney. As we take a look at the Breda Pest Management keys to the game when Swainsboro has the ball.
Yeah, they want to control the football. I mean, they want to get first downs and move it, but they also want to knock out first downs. They felt like they scored all those explosive plays last year, and they kind of got out of gas. They want to have a couple of drives and keep that Prince offense off the field.
Yeah, Coach Scott Roberts says, we never thought that 5 explosive plays would be a bad thing.
Yeah. And you look, easy for Prince Avenue. Identify where number 1 is on every single play, and it was clear that was the quote.
And even when you do, sometimes you still can't run it.
That's right. Reminds me so much of Miko Hartman and how he impacted games at Elbert County.
Handoff goes to Quinn Brown. First touch of the game for Quinn Brown. He's going to get about 4 on the play.
That is what they need to do, Matt. They need to be able to control the clock a little bit, maintain some drives, and stay in front of the chains. They've been unable to get early yardage. 2nd down and 6, you take 4 yards right here, and that's what Swainsboro wants to be able to do.
That was Edenfield who took the snap on that play. So DeMello Jones back in the shotgun to run the quarterback position. 2nd down and 6. Jones going to try to run it himself and not going to get anywhere. Play got blown up. 6-yard loss on the play, and that's
Atha and Garrett.
Yeah, Atha getting in there on the defensive side. At this time of year, you're going to see a lot of guys who didn't necessarily play a whole lot of defense during the season up to this point, playing a whole lot of defense in this game.
Got to.
There's no reason to keep any gas in the tank. Run it all the way down to empty by the end of the game. 3rd down and 11. This is the place where Swainsboro does not want to be, this far behind the sticks. Edenfield back in there, going to swing it out to Quinn Brown. Quinn Brown trying to get to the edge, not going to be able to do that as he runs out of bounds at the 49-yard line. And let's see if they go for it.
I wouldn't doubt it.
4th down and 6.
I wouldn't doubt it here. At midfield, you know you're going to have problems stopping this Prince offense.
Yeah, I think they go for it right here. I think you're already in that situation. You're already in that mindset that you can't give the ball back to them right now.
Looks like they're gonna punt.
Well, Gerard Stewart is their punter, and that's the big guy standing back there at the 35-yard line. Really kind of surprised they're going to punt here. Let's see if they fake something. Of course, the flip side of that is if you don't convert, you give them such a short field.
Oh, man.
Punt is going to go out of bounds way downfield, but let's see where they're going to spot it. They're still running up the sideline, and they haven't stopped yet. They finally do it at the 34. So you only get about 18 yards on the punt.
Yeah, need to stop right here. If you're gonna trade field position for 18 yards, got to have your defense get you the ball back, not go down 21, not go down 21-7 at least, 21-6.
Aaron Philo takes the team back out there. Already got him out to a 14-6 lead, and this will be the third possession already for the Wolverines, and we're 7 minutes into the game. Flea flicker. Philo guns to the far side, and it's caught by Hudson Hill. He's going to have the first down. DeMello Jones holds him up as he runs him out of bounds.
Even when you stay disciplined, you still give up a chunk play because they tried to go deep with this, and they stopped it. But look at that. That's a big league throw there, Matt, as you go across the hash and hit your freshman wide receiver.
Hudson Hill, 72 catches as a ninth grader, over 1,100 yards. Coach Vandegrift says he could be their first 4-4 guy by the time he's a senior.
Reminds you so much of Logan Johnson, who played there a couple years ago on that state championship team with Brock Vandegrift.
On 1st and 10, Philo looks to this side, wide open, and his tight end, Nick Hurley, couldn't come up with it.
Swainsboro trying to substitute a lot of those defensive linemen, trying to keep them fresh as can be.
Kind of a big week for the Vandegrifts. His son Brock transferring from Georgia to Kentucky.
Yeah.
What do you think about him at Kentucky?
That was clearly the place. I broke the story about a week ago, and they kind of told me off the record, hey, we're going to listen to some phone calls, but Kentucky's the place. We've done our homework. That's where we want to go. We feel comfortable there, and ultimately they got him done in about 48 hours.
Philo throws in the middle. That'll be close to a first down on a catch by Thornton Hester. 45 grabs on the season for him and 6 touchdowns. He'll just do a tremendous job of spreading the wealth here throughout the course of this game.
Picks his spots, goes through his progressions. Got to get pressure on him, or he will absolutely just carve you up. Got to find a way to get pressure on him. They're going to drop 8 right here. You see 3 down linemen. This is something Mary Persons did.
Yep. And Mary Persons the only team to beat Prince Avenue during the regular season. Ball goes to Dockery on the outside, and that'll be a first down at the 35.
And you also see the adjustment from Prince. They know that you're going to drop 8, so they've worked against that. Coach Vandegrift told us 3 teams in a row has tried to do the drop 8 against us, so we're a little bit more prepared for that now. They anticipated this, and I get it from Swainsboro. That's the one formula that's beat them. Let's see if we can put our own footprint on that.
So 1st and 10 from the 35. Philo gonna run, take a shot from Webb and bounce off it and get inside the 30 down to the 28.5.
Tells you how strong he is there, man. Watch him bounce off this linebacker as he goes. Look at that. Keeps his feet.
He's really filled out as his career has gone on. You mentioned 6'2", 210. Committed to Georgia Tech on May 11th over 13 other offers. UCF and Minnesota, who he had originally committed to. He was originally committed to the Golden Gophers. changed his mind when Georgia Tech jumps in there. How interesting that story would be if Philo goes to Tech, has success throwing the ball to Bailey Stockton.
Yeah, and Buster Faulkner was big in that one. Buster Faulkner went over to I took that picture when he was a sophomore. He's probably going to kill me for that one. He's a little bit bigger now. His hair's a little better, but when you look at him and Buster Faulkner coming from Georgia over to Georgia Tech, that was a big deal for Philo.
1st and 10 from the 24. Philo throws underneath to Dockery. Dockery kind of skips his way to a 9-yard pickup at the 14-yard line.
Again, very patient, just allows that drag route to come. You see him in the slot. They clear it out. He's just coming across underneath all of that zone to get the ball to Dockery, and he's able to get 9 yards on 1st down.
Dockery, a young man, a sophomore who came to the Wolverines from Loganville Christian. 2nd down and 1, ball at the 14-yard line, and a timeout, or a flag has been thrown. Flag has been thrown.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Down remains 2nd.
That's the first mistake that Prince has made here in this 1st quarter.
This will also be the last time Prince will play a public school for the state championship unless there's some rule changes.
Yep. There'll be a 3A, 1A, 2A, 3A private championship, one classification for them in the playoffs next year. Philo on the run, and Philo going to pick up the 1st down at the 12-yard line. Asked Coach Vandegrift about it and said, hey, look, no big deal to us. Those are all the teams we beat back when it was called back when it was called single A private.
Yep.
The Calvary Days and the Elkas and Savannah Christian.
Yep.
We'll see Savannah Christian here playing in the state championship game, the 3A state championship game on Wednesday against Cedar Grove. And the #1 prospect in the country in 2025, Elijah Griffin, the defensive lineman for Savannah Christian. You're going to want to watch that.
Let me tell you something. There are going to be some head coaches and some coaches on the sidelines for that one.
Philo throws again to Dockery, tries to squirm out of the tackle, will not be able to do that as he is brought down by Coney at the 9-yard line.
That is what they want to do. They want to tackle them for no yards after catch. Only picks up about 2 yards right here. Got a guy in front of you, got to get him to the ground. Keep everything in front of you and don't miss tackles in space.
So 2nd down and 6 now as we go close to a minute to play here in the 1st quarter. And Prince on top 14-6. Cosby makes a man miss and going to be close to the 1st down. Down inside the 3 and close to the 2. How crazy is it that, and there won't be on this play, but if it's a tight game, we can have a review on the measurement and the placement of the ball. How cool is that we have that here in Georgia high school football now?
As our rule official over here kind of squirms a little bit, I don't know if at some point we're going to have it. And thankful for everyone that got involved and everyone that got that done.
11th play of the drive coming up here on 3rd and 1 in a spread field. Philo sprint out to the right, pressure, gonna cut it up and run back to the other direction and score the touchdown. 3-yard rushing touchdown for Aaron Philo, and it's 20-6.
Yep, they tried to run a flood route at the top. Swainsboro does a good job. They just miscontain, and you look at the athleticism of Philo as he busts back. They want to roll right, and he just gets through the defensive line on the backside. Touchdown, Prince Avenue.
So Brock Bowling is the snapper, Kyler Giddens is the holder, and Tyler Denny on to try to make his 3rd PAT of the game already, and he does, and it's 21-6. And here's the fear: if you're pulling for Swainsboro today, and it's what we said when they punted it away, And now you're down 2 scores.
You got.
I don't know that they can punt it again today.
I wouldn't either. Not at midfield.
No.
Not at midfield.
If it's 4th and 10 and you're on your own 20, yes, of course.
Yep.
But anytime you've got a sliver of an opportunity,
yes,
you got to roll the dice.
Got to roll the dice, and I think if they had that to do over again, they would. Still in the first quarter. But right now, number 11 is completely in control of this game for Prince Avenue.
7 of 9 passing, 89 yards, and a touchdown, 5 for 38 rushing and a touchdown. Say he's the leading candidate for Georgia Cotton Commission Player of the Game.
He is definitely trending. As they say in the social media world, he is trending.
He is trending. So now Swainsboro down 15 points, receiving their 3rd kickoff of the game already. I think it's their 4th, actually. I've lost count. It's their 4th because they received the opening kickoff. Just 11 seconds left in this first quarter. A great start to this game for the Wolverines as they try to go back-to-back. Bounces along the turf in open man territory, and let's see who got on top of that. I think Swainsboro did. That was, and it was DeMello Jones who came up and got on top of that thing. And
so they moved him.
Yeah.
They moved him, and I was wondering if they were going to try to make an adjustment there.
The hands guy ends up falling on his back, and fortunately for Swainsboro, they cover that. Let's take a look at Scott Roberts, 79 and 32 in his 9th season as the head coach, 3 region titles. Trying to become the 2nd coach in program history to lead the Tigers to a title. Ray Van Teeg did that back in 2000 when the Tigers won their one and only state title, beating Fitzgerald 6-0.
Thought it was interesting. Coach Roberts talked about, a couple years ago they were trying to throw it all over the field. They were trying to be spread. He goes, you know what? We watched Fitzgerald win the state championship, and they're running the football. We got these athletes, and none of our kids can catch. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to hand it off to them and go to a running offense.
Well, they've got one of the best track teams in single A.
Correct.
DeMello Jones, part of that. Ty Adams, who was the quarterback last year, now at North Carolina, also part of that a year ago. And when you've got 4 guys and they're all playing football and they can run faster than just about everybody in your classification in the state, why not?
Yep. I mean, I love it. I love it's 2-sport athletes because, historically all the really good football players always used to run track.
Yeah.
And now they don't.
And the linemen wrestled.
The linemen wrestled, yep. And, it's just something you don't see. But in small towns like Swainsboro, you're going to go from football to basketball, and when it's over, you're going to run track.
So the timeout was called by Prince Avenue. So now 1st and 10 on what would likely be the final play of this first quarter. Jordan Williams with his first carry of the game, and nothing doing as he gets knocked down for a 4-yard loss back at the 30-yard line. And that is the end of the first 12 minutes of play here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and a 21-6 lead for Prince Avenue in this Class 1A Division I championship game.
While we've got a quick break in the action, did you know that the same area of just one football field can contain up to 95 termite colonies? That's why you need Breda Pest Management to defend your home. Breda, the official pest control of high school football.
Only in Cartersville, Bartow. 3 Smithsonian-affiliated museums, Barnsley Resort, and an authentic downtown full of unique restaurants and shops. The perfect destination for a memorable staycation, only in Cartersville, Bartow.
Half of the nation's opioid overdoses happen right at home because people don't understand the dangers of taking an Oxy or Perk with a glass of alcohol for stress or to sleep. Learn how to protect your family from opioid overdose at opioidresponse.info.
Let me know if I can help you with anything. Just looking. I only buy local and sustainable, so...
Oh, well that shirt's not local. You should be wearing cotton. Georgia's a major supplier of cotton worldwide, so if you'd like to buy local to support Georgia, buying cotton's a great place to start. It's renewable and sustainable, naturally. Thanks. And that's a polyester fiber made of oil, by the way.
Where's your dressing room?
This is my family. Everyone on my team knows that we're going to fight, we're going to be relentless, we're going to be aggressive, and we're going to be determined to get a great result. Mabra Law.
Back in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Matt Stewart, Rusty Mansell, Autumn Johnson with you as we head to the second quarter in the Class 1A Division I Championship. And Prince Avenue already out to a 21-6 lead on Swainsboro. And as we start the second quarter, Aaron Philo's pursuit of some of the great records in Georgia high school history are in full pursuit, with Gunnar Stockton next up on the single-season passing touchdown record. Kari Lane holds the record at 56.
Yep.
So he's 2 away from tying that. He's 1 away from tying Gunnar Stockton and Prentice Air Nolan at 55. And, of course, the all-time passing record held by Trevor Lawrence. He started today 301 yards away from that. He's already moved into 2 on the all-time list, passing by Gunnar Stockton there. So how cool is it for him here on the final game of his regular season career? He's got a shot at all those records and to win a state championship.
Yeah, listen, they didn't hide it. They talked about it. Coach Vandegrift said he brought Philo in, said, listen, if it happens, it happens. We all want to break it, but most importantly, want to win games. And Philo said, look, Coach, I don't care if I break it or not. I want to win the state championship, but you got to understand they know the scope of that all-time record, and someone is keeping record of that on that sideline. I can promise you that.
So 3rd down and 13 here for Swainsboro as they get set to run their second play of the quarter. And DeMello Jones going to throw it incomplete, trying to get the ball to Coney, and it's going to be 4th down.
Jones is down, took a shot. And that's the problem right now, and Coach Roberts talked about that. As he gets up, runs off, just unable to really have any type of passing threat. Just don't have it. And when you get behind the chains like that, it just can't do much.
You fall behind by 2 touchdowns, and now you're giving the ball back to Prince Avenue, and they might get it on the plus side of the 50 if Rod Stewart's first punt is any indication. This one's a little bit better.
Yep.
Coming down at the 40 and fumbled, and Swainsboro might be on top of it at the 50-yard line. The break they needed. How about that? Wow, just what you could order there. Skylar Coney, I believe, comes up with the fumble recovery, number 20 right there. Yep, he gets on top of it.
Much better punt. And Matt, you got to wonder, the first time you catch one like that with this roof, that had anything to do with you losing the ball, but a much better punt, and it got some height on it, and Swainsboro with a much needed turnover.
So 50-yard line, and that's where Swainsboro goes on offense, and you see Kason Edenfield, the sophomore, back in there at quarterback, and I think this is the smart play for them.
No doubt.
You got to find a way to get the ball to DeMello Jones in space. Going to be hard to do that running from the quarterback shotgun position. And the handoff. Big, strong run down to the 46-yard line by Quinn Brown.
They can do that. Pick up about 4 there.
So I think that puts him at 999 yards rushing on the season. Came in at 992. That was a 3-yard pickup. Going to be 2nd down and 7. DeMello Jones back in there at quarterback. Jordan Williams.
There's his yard.
That's Jordan. Yeah, you're right. That was Quinn Brown right there, number 11. Quinn Brown gets the yard plus, and he's gone over 1,000 yards. That makes 3 1,000-yard rushers for Swainsboro this season. Jordan Williams did it. He's at 1,200 plus. DeMello Jones approaching 1,200 on the season. Quinn Brown 3 for 13 today. It's going to be 3rd down and 1. They're definitely in 4-town.
There's no question, and I guarantee you one's going to have the ball in his hands right here on a 3rd and 1.
DeMello trying to get outside, follow his blockers, gets around the edge and picks up the 1st down. Showing his great quickness. They had him pinned in back there, and he's able to shift into another gear.
Good job by Prince, really setting the edge, making him bounce. Just too much speed from Jones, and he's able to turn the corner and move the chains. And Matt, this is exactly what Swainsboro needs to do. Eat clock, move the chains, stay ahead of the chains.
1st and 10 from the 37. Brown gets the handoff, and Brown's going to get 2 yards on the play.
Interesting, too. I always talk about the logistics and game within the game. They didn't feel like they had enough time to tape ankles, so they went to Georgia Tech. They went in the indoor. Kids laid out, they got taped, and then came over.
They ate over there at Georgia Tech as well. I mean, they can only get in the building by GHSA rule not until 2:15.
2:15.
The game's at 4 o'clock.
Correct.
So they had to go do their business over there at Georgia Tech. 3-hour ride from, really 3+ hour ride from Swainsboro to Atlanta.
Left this morning.
2nd down and 9. Ball at the 36. DeMello Jones going to throw it. Intercepted and then dropped by Talmadge at the 21-yard line. Peyton Talmadge had the pick and let it drop.
Man, he had him. If he could have just, they sneak a little slot receiver straight up the field on a vertical route. If he could have just had a little bit more air underneath it.
I love DeMello Jones. Georgia Bulldogs fans are going to love DeMello Jones. Yeah. Passing the ball is not his strength. We've seen him get decked, and we see him nearly throw a pick the 2 times he's tried to throw the ball.
And Mike Bobo's here, so you know it's not going to be the double pass in the package for him offensively.
No. Maybe a jet sweep or something like that. And a timeout's going to be called by Prince, as DeMello Jones had split out wide to the top of your screen. And the Wolverines are going to call a timeout.
Timeout, Prince Avenue, the 2nd of the half.
Let's take a look at the Swainsboro Tigers resume. It's brought to you by DBHDD. 2nd straight trip to the finals. 2000, they were the 3A state champs. Region 3 single A state champs. Back-to-back region titles. 17th region title. They started playing football in Swainsboro in 1919. Let's send it down to Autumn Johnson down there with the Swainsboro fans.
Oh, yes. Swainsboro head coach Scott Roberts told me that this squad has traveled 1,073 miles in the span of the playoffs, and all on yellow buses at that. This team and these fans as well has that same mentality. It is loud over here. They traveled 3 hours to get here to support their team. You see it right here. But today's travel included an 8:15 departure. They went down I-20, went to Georgia Tech to get taped up early to make the most of their time, and now they're ready to rock in hopes of getting their 1st state title, you guys.
And those yellow bus school miles, those are like dog miles.
Yes.
They are not like the luxury.
Miles. Yes.
They're not like the luxury bus miles.
No.
DeMello Jones gets hit in the backfield and gets out of it, dancing around back there, and they're going to finally get him out of bounds at the 41-yard line as Talmadge, who dropped the previous pass for an interception, gets the TFL instead.
Still can't get him to the ground, but a good job by Prince just running to the football and keeping him from bouncing all the way outside. Look how many bodies there trying to get him to the ground. He just runs out of grass, turf.
They bring the punting team back on the field here from the 40-yard line. And Stewart is standing at his own 46 to kick. Kicks it to the far side, end over end, bounces backwards.
Oh, man.
And Prince is going to get the ball at the 29. So that ends up being an 11-yard punt.
I understand the lack of passing threat, but at some point you got to throw one up on 4th and 10, 4th and 12. Because right now your punter, who had a good one last time, but 2 out of 3 haven't helped you at all, field position wise.
Let's take a look at the Breda Pest Management keys to the game when Prince has the ball, Rusty.
And they knew that they were going to rush 3 and drop 8, so they want to be patient, take advantage of what they give us, and don't force anything. And you look at Swainsboro, contain explosive plays. They want to keep everything in front, and you want to tackle the ball as soon as it's caught, no yards after catch. But right now I think things are going the way Prince thought they would before, and that is Swainsboro rushing 3, dropping 8. They're attacking it out on the perimeter, and then Philo dropped that post route in on the first drive for a touchdown.
So it actually turns out to be an 8-yard punt because they've set the line of scrimmage at the 32. So 1st and 10. Philo throws out here complete to Hester. Hester's got a first down and more. Thornton Hester high steps over a man across the 50 and down to the 40-yard line for Thornton Hester as he picks up 28.
They're anticipating that secondary to drop. So what do? You get the ball out in space to your tight end, big wide receiver there, and see if he can get vertical on you, and he did.
So 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line as the Wolverines are moving again.
Just getting no pressure right now with 3 down, and I think Swainsboro is going to have to make a decision. Are we going to bring an extra guy in the box? Or are we going to try to bring an extra guy off the edge? Because right now they're not getting home with 3.
Wolverines go empty set here. Going to toss the ball to Cosby on the end around. Cosby takes a shot to the head as he gets down to the 30-yard line at the 31. And that's going to be a 9-yard pickup.
Yeah, good job blocking there, Matt. They get on the second level. The guards get out on those backers. Look how they pull. The guard and tackles. Look at 56, 65. Just knock guys out of the way. That's a big hit, but it's 9 yards down the field before anyone gets to you. Almost a, whew.
2nd down and 1. Philo, and they get to him. He gets away from it, throws it to Cosby. And Cosby's going to pick up the first down at the 27. Great elusiveness by Aaron Philo on that play.
That's what drives you absolutely crazy right there, because you did dial it up. You did bring pressure, and you got there. You just weren't unable to get him to the ground. They show something different. They come off the backside and cannot get him to the ground. Philo, big, strong quarterback, delivers and moves the chains. But Swainsboro there, Matt, is seeing what I'm seeing. We got to bring something.
Yeah. Can't do what they have been doing. It hasn't been working. 10 for 12, 130 yards. Passing for Aaron Philo has already moved into number 2 on the career all-time passing list in the state of Georgia, with only Trevor Lawrence in front of him. Philo to the end zone and broken up at the goal line by DeMello Jones. What great coverage there by Jones on Thornton Hester.
Did you see the closing speed on that when he ate up space right there at the end? This ball's delivered now. Watch him come through right here and just close that out. That's perfect coverage. Over the top, kept his left hand free. Just no window there for Philo to complete that. Got to get off the field right here, Matt.
You see the numbers defensively for DeMello Jones this season. They don't wow you. People don't throw at him.
Don't throw at him, no.
Hand off. Cosby, first down run, out of bounds at the 10. 17-yard pickup for Connor Cosby.
What a block, an absolute monster block there by Austin Head. Austin Head, watch him pull right here and just wham. Actually, I think that was Cody Mitchell, 65. He pulls, knocks the Swainsboro defensive end completely out of the play, and he just cuts right underneath it.
Cody Mitchell, a 6'3", 280-pound junior. First and goal from the 10-yard line. Philo guns it, pops it up in the air and incomplete. Looking for the tight end right there, Nick Hurley, and he was looking for a flag and didn't get it.
Yeah, these windows will get a little tighter here. Swainsboro, nice coverage there by number 20.
Skylar Coney, who recovered the fumble on the punt earlier in the quarter. Ball goes out on the edge, and a great defensive play, out there by Quinn Brown, the strong safety slash running back.
What a play to
Denies
show.
Hudson Hill.
Man, watch him close in space right here. Look at him close down.
Third down and goal. Ball sitting on the 5.
Gotta watch Philo running here. He's hurt him a little bit with his legs inside the 10.
He's already got one rushing touchdown today. Gonna throw underneath, and it's dropped by Cosby, who is open and could have scored easily had he held on to it. Now it's gonna be 4th down.
I think that's the first ball of the day that Philo has missed, and I think he rushed that a little bit because it's wide open. Just a little behind him there. You want to lead that running back as he's going to the right. You don't want him to have to turn back. I think that's the first ball today that Philo's really missed. They're going to go for this.
Yep, not going for 3. They're going to go for 6. It's 4th down and goal from the 5.
See if he rolls right. They got trips to the right.
Ball is thrown and picked up. DeMello Jones. This could be pick 6. Good night. No one will be in the same area code as him as he crosses the goal line. 98 yards on the pick 6.
What's that saying? Big time players make big time plays in big time games. And DeMello Jones jumps this little route right here. Wow. And he's gone. Aaron Philo tries to chase him down. No chance to catch him. And he cruises the last 10 yards for a pick 6. What a massive play by the Georgia commit, DeMello Jones. Wow.
Wow. And you knew as soon as he picked that, there was no way that Philo, angle or whatever,
nobody
was going to catch him.
Nobody was catching him. What a play, man, to jump that route.
Going for 2. Edenfield back in there at quarterback. Looking, throwing, and flag out. Swainsboro is going to get another play. DeMello Jones, the intended target. So how about DeMello Jones living up to the billing in this game, Rusty? 98-yard pick 6, 59-yard touchdown reception.
He hadn't left the field, Matt. He got hurt for about 8 seconds, and he got up and ran off the field. You see him breathing hard, but man, it's just he is the best athlete on the field.
Holding on the defense. After this is a goal, replay the try.
So this will open up the playbook a little bit as you go half the distance to the goal.
Puts the run game into more play. How about Swainsboro just holding on, making them earn every single yard. And they go for it on 4th down instead of taking the 3.
They're about to go down 28-6. Instead, they're about to possibly make it 21-14. What a huge swing of events, and Scott Roberts calls the timeout as they think about what to do on this 2-point play coming up. DeMello Jones watched it all the way into his hands, and from there it was just a foot race that Aaron Philo had no shot of catching DeMello Jones.
Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is brought to you in part by Cigna Healthcare. Cigna Healthcare is a proud partner of Georgia Public Broadcasting and Football Fridays. Cigna Healthcare's mission is to improve the health and vitality of those we serve. Visit Cigna.com to learn how you can support your physical and emotional well-being. DBHDD and the Governor's Red Ribbon Campaign is all about Georgians standing together for substance misuse prevention. Be kind to your mind. Live drug-free. Learn more about healthy alternatives and living a drug-free lifestyle at garedribbon.org.
This program on GPB is made possible in part by supporters of the Georgia High School Association, including the following.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Georgia. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the GHSA.
I don't know about the TV, but the burgers are ready. Yeah.
Back for the two-point conversion try for Swainsboro. And DeMello Jones now lines up in the shotgun with the half the distance to the goal line penalty against Prince Avenue. DeMello Jones going to try to run it in, and he's not going to be able to do it. So the score is 21-12 with 5:09 to play here in the first half. And let's check in with Autumn Johnson.
Waynesboro side of everything, and I heard senior Shannon Ricks hyping up this team saying, hey, y'all gotta believe, and then motion to the crowd, let's go, which erupted in defense chants, and that's when we saw that 98-yard interception return from DeMello Jones. They're trying to cut down this deficit right now.
Yeah, no doubt about it. How crazy are these numbers, Rusty? DeMello Jones 6 carries for -5 yards. He's 0 for 2 passing. But he has a 59-yard touchdown reception and a 98-yard pick six.
Hey, tell him I need one.
You want to talk about explosive plays? I don't know what else to say. I mean, a 59-yarder, 98-yarder, and that man has earned every ounce of oxygen he's taken on the sidelines there.
And he was really upset. Coach Roberts says he was really upset that he was unable to finish the game a year ago.
Yep.
Tight ball game, could not come back out and be effective in the second half because of cramps playing at Georgia State Stadium. And that's just a part of the motivation for this Swainsboro team. 365 days since they lost that game. They had a lead.
Yep.
Felt like they should have won, felt like they got embarrassed in the fourth quarter in that game. Now Prince Avenue is going to go on offense as the kickoff is returned to the 32-yard line by Cosby, and we got a man down for Prince at the 24.
It's Jake Bobo. They were up 27-17 in the third quarter, and I saw him before pregame downstairs. Bailey Stockton's here, and that was one of the all-time performances that you will see in a state championship with that collarbone surgery and coming back and playing.
You see Jake Bobo, their Sam linebacker, 70 tackles on the season. He's also the backup quarterback, and his grandfather, George Bobo, one of the all-time great high school coaches in the state of Georgia down in Thomasville. And then, of course, his dad, Mike Bobo, you might have heard of him.
Yeah. You reckon they're throwing some balls around the backyard? Now, I know this a little bit about that family. I know Jake spends a lot of time with his grandfather, who, does some quarterback coaching still, and comes over to this program. He's playing linebacker, playing Sam linebacker for him, and we'll have a really good shot at being their quarterback next year. And I'll tell you this, I'm not going to get in their business, but when they release their schedule for next year and the teams they're playing next year, my goodness.
Aaron Philo, 11 for 17, 137, started the day needing 301 to break Trevor Lawrence's all-time career passing record in the state of Georgia. He's picked up a touchdown pass here today. That gives him 54 on the season, and he's 2 shy of tying Kari Lane for that record, single season record. And of course, he's number 3 on that list already, actually number 4. You got a tie for 2. He's now tied his record that he set last year when he threw 54 touchdown passes.
One of the craziest stats ever. Confirmed this with Joey King today. Trevor Lawrence's first half stats in 48 games would put him 4th all time. First half. But a tremendous job by Aaron Philo to do this, Matt, in 3 years.
That's right. He was the backup to Brock Vandegrift in the 2020 season, his freshman year, when they won the state championship for the first time. As the ball goes to Hudson Hill. And Hill's going to pick up the first down at the 43-yard line. Jailyrus Williams making the tackle for Swainsboro. Ask Coach Roberts about Jailyrus. He says he's a wild man.
Yeah.
Just he might not line up in the right place all the
doesn't
time.
Doesn't grade out great, just makes plays, man.
That was his unofficially 100th tackle on the season with 20.5 TFL and 6.5 quarterback sacks for the wild man. 1st and 10. Philo up top, and it's going to be broken up through in traffic looking for Hurley. And there's the wild man, Jailyrus Williams, who's right there on the coverage on this side of the field this time.
Yeah, they dropped 2 deep safety. A little different look that time. Not sure if they actually confused Philo there, but he threw into coverage. And I noticed they had a little different look defensively that time. Giving them some different looks. 2nd down and 10. This is what you wanted for Swainsboro. Negative plays on 1st down. To not be able to just hurt you with explosive plays. Keep them at 2nd and 10, 2nd long.
Cosby gets the handoff and a great play by LaMarcus Webb for the TFL.
Just has a nose for the football. Don't have to watch too much tape on him, Matt, to know what they say back in the day. That guy can just smell the football.
See ball, hit ball.
See ball, hit ball. 17 does it. 18 tackles last week against Brooks County in the state semifinals. You see his helmet. That's always a good sign of he mixes it up.
Chip the paint off the top of that thing.
Man.
3rd down and 13. Ball goes to Cosby. Webb trying to get to him, and he's going to run out of bounds. Well short of the 1st down. And Prince Avenue in a punting situation for the first time today.
Yep. Yeah, they tried to run a little pick route, rub route. Swainsboro would have called it pick. Prince would have called it rub route. Tried to run that, but Swainsboro, credit to their defense, fights through it and only allows them about 2 plays, 2 yards on that conversion.
Tyler Denny on the punt. He's standing at his 32. Caleb Chandler is the long snapper on the punts. Low snap. He picks it up off the ground and it's blocked. Swainsboro's going to have it. It's a scoop and score opportunity. And Dawn to the 3-yard line. Wow.
This place on the Swainsboro side has come unhinged in the Mercedes-Benz, and all the momentum is right now with the black and gold. Bad snap caused the delay. They come right up the middle, Matt, and that's a perfect block by number 2 for Swainsboro, Bryson Tarver, the junior.
During the return, sideline warning, Prince Avenue Christian. That's the first of the half.
Bryson Tarver comes right up the middle on that low snap and blocks it. Gives Swainsboro the ball. 1st and goal to go at the 3-yard line.
Little things, Matt. If you're Swainsboro and you're going to win a state championship, little things like that matter. If they have a bad snap, you got to make them pay for it, and they did.
They put the ball down at the 4. 1st and goal from the 4. Jones out of the shotgun. Jones spin move in the middle. Touchdown, Swainsboro. DeMello Jones has scored all 3 touchdowns for Swainsboro in this game, and it's 21-18.
You ever heard the saying, make you miss in a phone booth? Well, that's what he did right there. Watch this spin move in between the guard and tackle right here on this keeper. Little zone option, little zone read. Keeps it. Watch this spin move. Right here.
Wow. And from there, he just needed one more plant foot in the ground, and he was in the end zone. Going for the 2 again. Edenfield throwing and incomplete, trying to go to Coney right there at the goal line. So they've gone for three 2-point conversions failed on all three after they converted on all three last week in the semifinals against Brooks County. So it's 21-18. Very much like last year's game in entertainment value. Two vastly different styles of play. Both do it very well. And Swainsboro's within 3 points here.
And last year, it was Swainsboro that jumped up on Prince. This time, Prince at 21-6, trying to throw a knockout punch, and DeMello Jones takes one 98 to the house. Then they block a punt. We got a ball game.
Yeah, we do. I mean, Prince was one play away from taking a 28-6 lead, and now their lead is 21-18 with 3:37 to play in the half. The first of our 8 tackle football championship games here at the Benz this week.
Not gonna lie, I caught myself as a girl dad watching that Southeast Bullock North Oconee. What a game, man. Just so athletic. Those girls can throw the ball. They play defense. And Southeast Bullock, is that the biggest dynasty in Georgia high school right now?
61 straight games.
61 straight wins.
Ball coming down at the 5-yard line. Cosby on the return, and Cosby run out of bounds at the 32-yard line. That's where Prince Avenue will put the ball in play now with 3.5 minutes to play in the first half, and they have 1 timeout remaining.
See what Prince and John Rick, you see John Rick, their offensive coordinator, looking at his play sheet. Let's see what adjustments he makes right here, because the last time on defense, Swainsboro gave them a different look, a little too deep. And they were able to get that punt attempt, and they capitalized on a bad snap. So now we're game within the game.
John Rick, of course, the son of former Georgia Bulldogs coach Mark Rick.
Yep.
Right up the middle on the run by Cosby. He gets slung forward for a first down.
Yeah, I'd have a hard time right now not relying on my offensive line. You can do all that you want to do in the back end. We got 5 guys up front, and you're going to have to deal with them right now.
Wow, look at that blocking.
Man, those big guys are moving, man.
Cody Mitchell helping to open that hole for Cosby to run in. And Cosby another first down, and Cosby gashes him for another 10+ down to the 45, and on 2 running plays, Prince Avenue in +50 territory.
Pretty easy the adjustment was. You know what? We're going to come downhill. We're going to come right at you.
That was a 12-yard pickup for Cosby. Cosby 10 carries, 72 yards. Going to get it on a 3rd consecutive carry. This time they got it wrapped up and throw him for a loss.
Love the call there by Swainsboro. They bring Smith off the edge, the defensive back, linebacker there, freshman, number 9.
Tobias is someone you probably need to bookmark there at 6'3".
I don't have a star beside his name.
6'3", 200-pound 9th grader.
6'3", 9th grade, outside linebacker. That's the next one at Swainsboro.
2nd down and 13. Philo guns it far side of the field, caught by Hudson Hill, and Hill gets wrapped up and dropped at the 40-yard line.
Just a little outlet pass there. Philo goes through his progressions, and when you play zone, there's that guy outside.
Hudson Hill with his team-leading 5th catch of the game. 3rd down and 4. They go to the other side of the field this time, and Hester is going to have the first down.
Yep, good job there. I still like the call. Swainsboro brought a linebacker that time, didn't sit back. See the 3-down lineman, but good job by Philo just getting the ball out of his hands. And Hester gets upfield just enough to move the chains. This is a big possession right here for Prince.
Yeah, he fought through the tackle of Skylar Coney to get the extra yard. It's going to be 1st down and 10 from the 35. Under 2 minutes now to play here in the first half. Philo guns underneath. Down to the 28-yard line on the catch made by Hester.
And that's almost everybody's two-point play. Little whip route, sort of what they call that. Outside, and comes right back underneath.
On second down, right up the middle, and that's a first down carry. Down to the 17-yard line.
Catching Swainsboro right now with some momentum, pace. Get on the line, get on the ball, and let's wear this defensive line down right now.
That was the first carry of the game for Talmadge. Peyton Talmadge. Looks like he might be favoring that shoulder a little bit. First and 10, ball at the 18.5. Eighth play of the drive right here. Play action, Philo guns, and oh my goodness, drop. That was a touchdown catch right there by Cosby.
He knows it. Look at Philo dial in on this throw right here.
It's an absolute rope right there. That's a
that hits you
beautiful.
That hits you in the worst possible place as a wide receiver. Right in the hands. But man, you want to talk about an absolute big league throw right there by Aaron Philo. Knew it was coming, knew the formation, knew the coverage, delivered a strike. Unfortunately, it was dropped.
Consensus three-star quarterback. All the recruiting services have him ranked that high. Run up the middle for Philo, and Philo goes down at the 11. Let's see where they spot it. Looks like they're going to put it down at the 12. And a timeout's going to be called by Prince as the clock ticks down to 45 seconds.
And people and whatever is going on this day and age about rankings.
How about Prince
for whatever
Avenue,
reason, Matt, people look at 3 stars
timeout.
now and go, he's not going to be any good. This kid's better than a 3-star, but it doesn't matter because he had real Power 5 offers, and at the end of the day, that's what matters. And I've covered the young man since the 9th grade. He's never asked me one time, hey, can you change my profile? Can you add my weight? Why am I a 3-star? Every time I've been around this young man, it's thank you, yes, sir, thank you, and yes, sir. And I'm telling you right now, those things are important as you go to the next level. Aaron Philo checks boxes.
Well, he's got a chance to win a second state championship as a starting quarterback. If he can lead Prince Avenue to the victory here today, he also has a chance to finish as the all-time passing leader in Georgia high school football history and break a record of a #1 NFL draft pick, Trevor Lawrence.
No doubter.
And he also has a chance to finish with the single-season touchdown passing record. He's at 54 right now. 56 is the record.
I'll give you a story. If he breaks it when he gets to Georgia Tech, he needs to give Tim McFarland a big hug because Tim McFarland cut 3 games out of Trevor Lawrence his senior season.
You are exactly right. They upset Trevor Lawrence in his senior year in the second round of the state playoffs. Philo today's at 167 on 16 of 24. It's 3rd down coming out of the timeout. And Cosby going to get wrapped up and pulled down from behind. That's a huge tackle right there by Aiden Foskey. Going to force 4th down.
I wonder if they'll take the points of the field goal attempt this time. Nope, they're going for it.
4th down, and they're going for it. Hand off, and he's not going to get it. On 4th down, Cosby gets stopped at the 10-yard line. Are you surprised?
They must not be confident in their kicker. I don't remember the notes on the kicker because they don't kick a lot of field goals.
No, he's 3 for 6. He said his comfort range was 37. Of course, both of the field goal opportunities that they passed up here today were within his stated comfort range.
It may have been the way he kicked in pregame.
Maybe.
You know.
Wow.
Yep.
We've got a whole different ball game than let's go back in our time machine, the DeLorean 20 minutes. I'm thinking, man, we might have a blowout on our hands. We might have a running clock in the 4th quarter.
I'm thinking about how many stories we're going to talk about from the 90s.
Swainsboro back on offense. And the handoff goes to Quinn Brown, and he's got no running room. In fact, loses a yard at the 9-yard line. That was the cornerback, Luke Darling, coming up to make the play, and that might be the final play of the half. I don't think Swainsboro wants to run another. They're going to head to the locker room. And there's DeMello Jones, the Georgia Bulldogs commit. What a show he put on in the first half. Scored all 3 touchdowns for the Tigers. 59-yard touchdown reception. Most of that was a catch and run for about 55 yards, a 98-yard pick six, and then a short touchdown run on offense.
He jumped a 98-yard touchdown.
Yeah. Prince Avenue's lead, again, looked like it was going to be sizable, ends up being just 3 as the teams head to the locker room. The halftime interview is brought to you by Johnny's New York Style Pizza, your original neighborhood pizzeria.
Well, Coach Vandegrift, Swainsboro was able to get back into this game with a major block and DeMello Jones rushing for all 3 touchdowns. How do you limit him and identify him early and often?
He's a one-man gang right now. You know, he's had a big run. He had a big pick. They had a big play on special teams. You know, you take away those 3 plays, we're playing really well. I told our guys when it was 21-7, it was exactly like this last year, and we were the guys down. So this game isn't over. It's going to be a tough second half.
Far from over, what's going to be your message to them in the locker room?
Well, we get the ball. We just need to sustain drives and put the ball in the end zone and keep playing tough on defense.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck. Back to you, Matt.
All right, thank you, Autumn. We've got ourselves a game here in the Single A Division I Championship. And Aaron Philo has his team, Prince Avenue, out to a 21-18 lead. But that guy right there, DeMello Jones, has his team, the Swainsboro Tigers, right in the thick of it. Halftime coming up from Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Only in Cartersville, Bartow. 3 Smithsonian-affiliated museums, Barnsley Resort, and an authentic downtown full of unique restaurants and shops. The perfect destination for a memorable staycation, only in Cartersville, Bartow.
Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is brought to you in part by DBHDD and the Governor's Red Ribbon Campaign. Be kind to your mind. Live drug-free. DBHDD and the Governor's Red Ribbon Campaign is all about Georgians standing together for substance misuse prevention. Be kind to your mind. Live drug-free. Learn more about healthy alternatives and living a drug-free lifestyle at garedribbon.org.
Kennesaw State University.
Riding down the road and you're doing just fine when a car in front of you crosses over the line. They're in your space, not looking at your face. Distracted drivers all over the place. Say, we will buckle up. Sing it. Say, we will buckle up.
Over here. Flint Energies and 33 other Georgia Electric membership cooperatives congratulate Crawford County High School on winning the GHSA Cooperative Spirit Sportsmanship Award. This award honors schools that exhibit exemplary sportsmanship during competitive events. Only one school in each region and each classification is chosen to receive this annual award. The GHSA takes into consideration all aspects of sportsmanship, making the award a tribute to the entire community.
As a cooperative, Flint Energies loves to invest in our schools and our communities, and Crawford County is a school that exemplifies that cooperative spirit and sportsmanship. They have wonderful school spirit always. They have respect on and off the field. They have character and integrity in everything that they do.
Introduced in 2006, this award reinforces the GHSA's philosophy that everyone associated with high school activities, from athletes to spectators, should adhere to the fundamental values it represents.
Here at Crawford County, we really preach to have good sportsmanship. You know, our coaches believe in it, our players believe in it, so we're just super excited about being honored with this award.
Georgia's EMCs and the 34 participating Georgia Electric membership cooperatives are proud to sponsor the Cooperative Spirit Sportsmanship Award. Congratulations to the Crawford County community.
Hey everyone, welcome into the Football Fridays in Georgia halftime show presented by Regions. Get back in the game with Regions Bank. That's John Nelson. I'm Hannah Gooden. We are live at Mercedes-Benz Stadium for the 2023 GHSA State Championships. We are currently in halftime of the first boys tackle game of the day. It's the Single A Division I matchup between Swainsboro and Prince Avenue Christian. Let's get you caught up on what's happened so far on Georgia's EMC scoreboard. Georgia's EMC is so much more than electricity.
Once again, that's the score at the break, 21-18, and it's the DeMello Jones Show. We'll be getting into that coming up in just a little bit. DeMello, he's got the hat trick. I don't know what you call 4 different touchdowns in 4 different ways, but he's well on his way to that 21-18 at the break. So, all right, so let's see if we've got this. It is a rushing touchdown. It's a receiving touchdown. And he sits on a route for a pick 6, 98 yards going all the way from one end of the television screen to the other. And that accounts for the 18 points for Swainsboro, and we've gotten the chance to see what Aaron Philo can do. And the folks on the flats, Georgia Tech, if they're not here, they're probably just over on North Avenue, and they're keeping an eye on their future quarterback. Remember, Aaron Philo was originally going to Minnesota, and now he's heading to Georgia Tech. So ACC and Georgia Tech and Brent Key getting a solid quarterback. You're seeing that in the first half. But once again, special teams for Prince Avenue. I think that you're seeing there's going to be some discussion there. You had a muff punt. You had a block punt that's created some points there for Swainsboro off of Prince Avenue Christian special teams. So we'll keep an eye on that hand in the second half with right now Prince Avenue leading by 3.
So Jones heading to the Dogs, Philo heading to the Yellow Jackets.
Correct, yes.
Many more players on both of these teams will be making commitments soon. But John, what about the players that get overlooked when it comes to recruiting throughout the season? It's time to spotlight some of those on our
Make That Kid an Offer. We mean it.
Roll it. We start with Long County senior quarterback Jayshawn Mangan. He transferred here last year and has moved all around as a military kid, but he's overcome that obstacle each time and continues to shine on the field. As a junior, he threw for over 2,000 yards for 23 touchdowns, while also rushing for 228 yards and 4 TDs. Through 2 games this season, he's already thrown for 188 yards and a score, so somebody make this kid an offer. Next up is Stockbridge senior wide receiver and kick returner Ryan Johnson. He was named the Class 4A All-Region Player and Wide Receiver of the Year for the Tigers with a career total of 40 catches and 10 touchdowns. The multi-sport athlete also competes in track and field, where he won the region championship in the 400-meter hurdles. So he's fast. Somebody make him an offer. Hopefully the offers start rolling in for these kids very soon. They will have big decisions to make, hopefully, and we will have you covered on our early signing day special Wednesday, December 20th at 8 o'clock with John and Matt. I am so looking forward to this, John.
It is signing day and this is because of how things have changed with signing day now, where it's not just February, and now you have folks who are leaving school literally after championship games. They're enrolling early, and they're now being participants in, if the team that they're going to is in a college bowl game, they're actually getting those first reps now in the bowl season. And so that's where we are here. And right now it's the number 3 state for high school athletes heading to the next level. Who goes where? How does the portal affect everything? And what is the trickle-down effect from folks who are going from one school to another? How does that affect recruiting one way or the other? Who's going where? We'll have a lot of those questions answered. At least we'll start the process in December, because then those answers lead to more questions, which lead us to February, which leads us to more answers when it comes to the traditional signing day.
John will be there to confuse you all, and
Absolutely,
I will be there to talk to some of the
will.
players. All right, we have to take a quick break, but coming up next, we have our You Save It Pharmacy Georgia Player Spotlight. Stick with us.
Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is brought to you in part by Georgia's EMCs. So much more than electricity.
Today's conservation-minded consumer cares about where their energy comes from. Your local EMC cares too. Georgia's electric membership cooperatives offer renewable options for our members. In fact, our solar portfolio will produce enough clean energy to power more than 180,000 households, striving to move the needle toward progress and position communities for the future. Georgia's EMCs, so much more than electricity.
The GHSA football playoffs and championships are brought to you by Alpha Insurance. We're more than just an insurance company. we're a part of your community.
What you doing?
Hey, just finishing this claim to get Dave back on the road.
Nice. I wonder what Dave's doing.
You do your thing. We've got you covered.
Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is presented by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety, reminding you to be safe on every trip. Buckle up, Georgia.
Welcome back. It's time for our Georgia Player Spotlight, brought to you by You Save It Pharmacy. And this week we are highlighting Cedar Shoals freshman swimmer Christopher Koch. He's already won 3 state titles in different events. Here's his story.
The slightest moment of hesitation of getting off the block can lose or give you 100th of a second. It's like super fast.
Great athletes don't just go up and down and get tired. They're thinking all the time and they're trying to do the little things right. His best swimming's definitely ahead of him. He is improving every day.
His state titles are in the 1,000-yard and 500-yard freestyle events, as well as the 400 IM. Just a freshman. We will probably see him in the Olympics one day. Congratulations, Christopher Koch, and thank you, You Save It Pharmacy. We have to take a quick break, but stick with us because we are going to show you what's coming up this week on GPB in just a few minutes.
Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is brought to you in part by Regions Bank. Get back in the game with Regions Bank.
At Regions Bank, we're here to listen to your needs, and we'll customize a plan to help you reach your financial goals. Our service to Georgia goes beyond banking to creating more inclusive prosperity in our communities. From education to financial wellness to economic development, we're working to level the playing field so more people can succeed and our communities can thrive.
While we've got a quick break in the action, did you know that the same area of just one football field can contain up to 95 termite colonies? That's why you need Breda Pest Management to defend your home. Breda, the official pest control of high school football.
Half of the nation's opioid overdoses happen right at home because people don't understand the dangers of taking an Oxy or Perk with a glass of alcohol for stress or to sleep. Learn how to protect your family from opioid overdose at opioidresponse.info.
Oh, could you give me a soda there?
Sweetheart, please don't forget to wear your seatbelt. I got it, Mom.
It's a really nice day, living in the right space. Breathing your grace, got me feeling some kind of way.
In the blink of an eye, so many tomorrows can disappear. Buckle up for your future, every trip, every time. A message from the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Welcome back to the Regions Halftime Show. That's John Nelson. I'm Hannah Gooden. If you're just now joining us, we are live from Mercedes-Benz Stadium for the 2023 GHSA Girls and Boys Football Championships. We are currently at the half of the first tackle football game of the day, which is Single A Division I championship game between Swainsboro and Prince Avenue Christian. And John, this is a rematch from last year's title game where the Wolverines won it.
Yep, and Coach Vandegrift had mentioned in the interview with Autumn downstairs that it was the reverse last year where Swainsboro had the lead second half and Prince Avenue came back from that deficit to come back and win. So you have that situation to kind of be wary about. If you're Prince Avenue Christian with Swainsboro down early, they've come back to close to within 3 here at the break. So that's the game that we currently have. And like I said, I'm looking forward to hearing what Coach Roberts tells Autumn here coming up in just a couple of minutes, because once again, you know what Swainsboro is bringing to the table, and we've seen what Prince Avenue has been able to do in stopping the running game. And you've got that one-man gang, that one-man machine in DeMello Jones, and he is proving to be as problematic as you can be for Prince Avenue. What are the adjustments that these guys make, starting with Coach Roberts coming up in just a little bit? I'm interested to hear what he has to say down 3, getting ready for the second half.
Earlier today, it was the first flag girls championship between Southeast Bullock and North Oconee, and the Yellow Jackets going 3 championships in a row, John.
Because what are dynasties?
They are dynamic.
Dynastic. Dynasties are dynastic. Southeast Bullocks won 62 in a row. Top-ranked team in some polls in the country. 14-0 winners over North Oconee. It was scoreless at the break. Got to give North Oconee a lot of credit. North Oconee, on only their second year as a flag football program, makes it to the last game of the year in Division I, but Southeast Bullock has been tremendous out of Brooklet, Georgia, nationally ranked, #1 in some polls. They get the Duke. They are now 62 wins in a row. They are setting the standard for flag football here in the state of Georgia, and really for flag football in high school across the country. So I'm looking forward to see what happens. 5 seniors graduating from Southeast Bullock. What do they do for an encore, 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 encore? I think 4 in a row. I think that's back to back to back to back. I know we're all sitting here looking at that 4th one going, what are you going to do now? Let them celebrate the 3rd one. But yeah, it's fantastic work by the Cochrans down there at Southeast Bullock, winners in flag in Division I.
So another rematch will be our 7 o'clock game, the Single A Division II matchup between Bowden and Manchester. They played in week 1 of the season, where the Blue Devils won, John.
Yep, and it is Red Devils and Blue Devils. Rich Finley, we know what Bowden was able to do last year, winning the state championship. Manchester came out of that region with Sly County. They were a 2 seed working their way through. 2 great coaches in Rich Finley and Stephen Holmes. And, Bowden and Manchester, once again, there are no secrets. Of course, we say that in a 1-point game in week 1. Teams are different from week 1 to week 15. So interesting to see how these 2 athletic teams go about it. Focus on the line for Manchester, because they've got a tall drink of water and a prospect for the junior class next season that you can get to keep an eye on as well. Paying attention to that gets us to other days on the board when it comes to the championship schedule. Busy day tomorrow. Starting at 11 a.m., Lithia Springs goes for the repeat. Greenbrier, welcome to the championship game in Division II when it comes to flag football. AA, Rockmart, chasing after that first title since 1950. They were here at Mercedes-Benz a handful of years ago, lost to Heard County. They take on Pierce County. Pierce County cannot bring the train whistle. No artificial noisemakers allowed, so the train whistle has to be the one that we've been hearing here at Mercedes-Benz. Pierce County coming up from the swamp. Looking forward to that one as well, and that starts a very, very busy day tomorrow here at Mercedes-Benz.
And then the odd numbers will go Wednesday, and 7A will round us out. So much championship action, John.
And we're just
getting started.
What she said. Yeah, Jinx, buy me a soda.
For all of the latest news and updates, please follow us on social media at GPB Sports. We are everywhere. We have guests up on the set live. We are posting those on here on Facebook, Twitter/X, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch. We're everywhere. So follow us for all the latest news.
And remember,
updates.
and one more thing, we know that there's a lot of folks that want to see the marching bands at halftime. You can go to gpb.org/events. Go into our events section on the website. You can watch the band performances there.
The band
Every
cam.
single band performance that's out there. Go to gpb.org/events. You can watch them all week long.
That's Sean Nelson. I'm Hannah Gooden. Thanks for watching the Regions Halftime 4 show. More next, right after this.
What you doing?
Hey, just finishing this claim to get Dave back on the road.
Nice. I wonder what Dave's doing.
You do your thing. We've got you covered.
Welcome back. Star of the third quarter coming up. Prince Avenue leading Swainsboro 21-18. And our halftime interview is brought to you by Johnny's New York Style Pizza, your original neighborhood pizzeria. For that, we send it back down to Autumn Johnson.
Thanks, guys. Well, I'm here with Coach Roberts. And, Coach, you were able to lean on your running game to get you back into this game, cut the deficit, but you know they're going to come for DeMelo Jones. How do you kind of keep the momentum going to the second half?
Well, I mean, our kids have just been resilient the whole playoffs, and we made a lot of mistakes early on to put us in a hole, and they just keep fighting. That's what they do, and I wouldn't expect anything different from them.
What was your message in the locker room to your team to close it out?
Told them they're built for this. This is what we've been preparing for all year long, and, you know, we knew this is right where we thought it would be right now. We knew it was going to be a battle, and our kids are ready for that battle.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck in the next half. They are built for this, guys. I'll send it back to you.
Indeed, they are, Autumn. In fact, that's what Coach Roberts told us as we talked to him this week in preparation for the state championship game, Rusty, is they were down on the road at Elbert County. They were down on the road at Brooks County and won both those games, quarterfinals and semifinals, coming from behind on the road to get to this championship game.
Listen, any team that's rode the big cheese for 4 games in a row, you're built for it to get to this Mercedes-Benz. I can promise you that.
All right, let's take a look at the first half highlights. And it was Prince Avenue out the gate very quickly with Philo.
Second play.
That's right, second play after the fumble recovery, and that was Dockery with the touchdown catch.
Didn't take long.
DeMelo Jones went 59 yards for the score on the little hitch route. It was 7-6 at that point, but then it was Prince Avenue for a spell here. They get the touchdown run there by Talmadge, and they take a 2-touchdown lead. And then Philo is intercepted by DeMelo Jones after they were down 21-6, and he has the pick six, 98 yards for the score.
If Swainsboro wins the state championship, they will talk about that play forever in history of that town.
The block kick by Tarver gives them the ball at the 4-yard line, and DeMelo Jones turns that into a score right away. And that's where we stand right now here as we get ready to start the third quarter, 21-18. As we take a look at the Breda Pest Management halftime stats, what jumps off the page at you?
It's the total yards for Prince. We kind of expected that. And listen, 72 total yards is all for Swainsboro, but it's been the explosive plays. A 50-yard touchdown and the 98-yard interception and a block punt, finding ways, Matt, to stay in this football game.
Yeah, I would agree with you on the total yards for both teams. 299 for Prince Avenue. That's impressive. You're looking at a 600-yard day total offense.
Yep.
But Swainsboro has only 72, and they're only down 3 points. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Time of possession as well. I mean, Prince has done. If you show Prince those halftime stats, they think they're up 31-7.
Yeah, so who has the momentum as we get ready to start this third quarter?
Both teams have traded punches, but you have to think Swainsboro, the way they finished, they went into that locker room thinking, you know what, we were about to get a knockout punch, 28-6. We're down 3 with 1 half to play in our season.
And perhaps Coach Greg Vandergriff, one of the most respected coaches in the state, but When you play on television the state championship game, you do get second guessed, and twice he passed on field goal opportunities and came up 0 points, and actually came up -6 points, because that's when DeMello Jones had the 98-yard pick six.
I'm sure, someone talked, that's part of being on a staff. Hey, coach, listen, we're down there. Let's take that 3 next time. So we'll see if they make any adjustments.
Third quarter kickoff is brought to you by Buckle Up Georgia. Buckle Up Georgia's seatbelts save lives. And Prince Avenue, short return right there. Going to have the ball at the 30-yard line to begin this third quarter. Back in the bins, and so happy that we are, especially given the weather that we've experienced here in North Georgia over the last couple of days. The downpours, the heavy rain, the heavy winds, and inside it is beautiful.
There was some concerns about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Zero concerns, because state of Georgia high school football means everything. And if your team makes it to the state championship, you're going to find a way to be here. The best building in the country, in my opinion, and our kids deserve to play here.
So first down for Prince. They start from the 31-yard line. And Philo drops back, straight back, now scrambles out of the pocket, going to run it. And Philo's going to have himself a first down as he slides forward to the 42-yard line. Now, we had replay review come into play in the first half, and you didn't even know it. On 2 placements, the ball got placed instead of the 30, the 32 on a punt, and on the block punt, it got placed at the 4 instead of the 3, and that was all replay review, and nobody knew it.
That's what I like to hear. Let's just get our jobs done and nobody talk about it, and well done by the replay team, and we're all learning here, but that's what it's here for in this building.
So 1st and 10 after the slide by Philo. Shovel pass forward. Goes to the tight end, Nick Hurley. That finally gets him in the pass-catching column. And he is the 5th different guy to catch a pass from Philo today.
It's a little shovel pass there. And Prince going 5 wide, empty here. See if Philo runs the football. If they run their DBs off.
Little hitch pattern goes there to Dockery, who had the first touchdown catch of the game. And that's going to be a first down. And, and Coach Vandegrift said several years ago, it dawned on me, we can go 5 wide. We can go empty backfield from our own 1-yard line if we want and hit a big play. I mean, and he got into that. And on the play where they had it 4th down and 5 turned into a pick 6, they were going 5 wide empty set too.
They went 5 wide. They just threw it the wrong one.
Not many coaches are willing to do that as the ball goes to Cosby. And Cosby takes a shot from DeMello Jones at the 37-yard line. So DeMello can bring the lumber too.
Listen, nobody on the Prince sideline said a word. That was a tip of the cap, but still picked up 7 yards. A little flood route. That's how you finish through a blocker and make the tackle with the old, that's the old flipper.
Yeah.
That's the old Mean Joe Green there. You don't see that much.
2nd down and 3. Ball sitting on the 37. Cosby gonna get stopped in his tracks, and a big TFL right there by the Tigers. Jaden Worthen comes up with the big tackle for loss.
Get off blocks. Watch him get off the block of 65 there and eat the running back up for a negative play. No gain there. Now it makes it 3rd and about 4.5 for Prince Avenue. And they give it right back. Give them 5 cheap ones.
That was Isaiah Brown who jumped off sides.
Swainsboro sideline pointing, but I believe he jumped off.
Encroachment on the defense. 5-yard penalty. Penalty results in a first down.
Now this is where at Swainsboro you have to be careful, because Prince is going to lull you to sleep here. They're going to hit you short. They're going to hit you short. They're going to hit you short, and then before you know it, they're over the top.
Yep, they're definitely going to take a shot. And this is where last year you had Bailey Stockton and all those guys, explosive wide receivers, kind of a wide receiver group by committee. In fact, he told us Brody Talbert, who was his best wide receiver all summer, had a season-ending injury, so they've had to rely on some different guys.
Philo on first down. Pocket's clean. Now going to just run it. And he slides down and hits a knee at the 30. I don't know that he wanted to go down right there. But he does, and it's going to be second down. Tolbert's a guy that's going to be a big-time wide receiver for him, just snake bit this year. So many injuries.
Yeah, young man grew from like 5'7" to 6 foot in a few months, and Coach Vandergriff spoke really high on Brody Talbert. Also brought him back and played corner. He said it's hard to find those 6-foot corners. Played about 4 plays with a broken collarbone, Coach Vandergriff said, but he said day 1 starter next year as a senior for Brody Talbert.
Second down and 7, and the pass goes underneath to Hudson Hill, and Stewart makes the tackle, going to bring up third down.
Yeah, got a little tunnel screen there underneath, and Swainsboro does a good job of running to the football. They're going to release you so you know something's up. And when they release you that easy, something's coming in behind it, but good job trailing there by Stewart.
Third down and 3.
Got to get off the field if you're Swainsboro. This has got to be 2-down territory if you're Prince Avenue.
Saw those numbers for Stewart. 145 total tackles coming into this game. Cosby going to dive forward and pick up the first down at the 22. Great awareness there by Connor Cosby to know where he needs to get that first down.
Great vision there. He tried to go outside, wasn't there. Watch him put a foot in the ground, plant, go right back upfield, north-south to move the chains. Great job there.
So first and 10, ball at the 22. Cosby today, 15 carries for 76 yards, 5.1 a carry. He's also had 4 catches out of the backfield. Now he's in motion, lines up in the slot.
Empty
set again, 5 wide. Philo guns to the end zone and in and out of the hands of Dockery. Broken up by Skylar Coney, who's had a really good game.
Swainsboro has played really good. Other than that second play of the game, they played really good on the back end when they've tried to attack them in these middle of the field, these post routes. They've done a really good job and got there about the same time of the ball.
Been impressed with Skylar Coney today. This is the 10th play of the drive coming up. Line to gain is just inside the 12. Keeper Philo spins down at the 20. Now it's going to be third down and long.
If I'm Prince, man, I've got to have my offensive line laying on you a little bit. I want to get downhill a little bit more and see if you can take your 5 guys against their 3. And if you have to move the chains 2 and 3 yards a pop, you still can move it.
258 yards of total offense for Philo today. 193 in the air, 65 on the ground.
There it is.
And Cosby on the cutback inside the 10. Touchdown, Prince.
That's exactly what I was talking about right there, man. Let's put our 5 offensive linemen on your 3 defensive linemen, and there it is, the numbers. They pull backside guard and tackle. They don't even have anybody there to block. Touchdown, Prince.
Jake Atha, the left tackle, the junior, offered by UCF, doing a good job getting a body on Gerard Stewart, the linebacker, to clear it open for Cosby to score the touchdown on the cutback, and it's 28-18 as Prince scores on the opening drive and clears 4+ minutes off the clock in doing so. Watch Atha right there, 51. Getting out there and clearing some holes. 10-point lead for the Wolverines as they get on the scoreboard first here in the third quarter.
Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is brought to you in part by Cigna Healthcare. Cigna Healthcare is a proud partner of Georgia Public Broadcasting and Football Fridays. Cigna Healthcare's mission is to improve the health and vitality of those we serve. Visit Cigna.com to learn how you can support your physical and emotional well-being. Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is brought to you in part by Georgia's EMCs. So much more than electricity.
As morning light signals the start of business, Georgia's electric membership cooperatives are right there with you. Georgia's EMCs are a partner in economic development, serving commercial accounts big and small that drive Georgia's economy. From leading industries we rely on to local shops we treasure. We support operations on the ground, care around the clock, and growth through the seasons, lighting up good business. So business is good. Georgia's EMCs, so much more than electricity.
DBHDD and the Governor's Red Ribbon Campaign is all about Georgians standing together for substance misuse prevention. Be kind to your mind. Live drug-free. Learn more about healthy alternatives and living a drug-free lifestyle at garedribbon.org. Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is brought to you in part by Regions Bank. Get back in the game with Regions Bank.
7:43 to play here in the third quarter, and Prince has opened up a 10-point lead here in the Class 1A Division I championship game. Now back down to Autumn Johnson on the sideline.
This here's a jam for all the fellas. Try to do what those ladies tell us. Get shot down because you're over.
There's still other young guys. This moment for granted. You don't want to be that group that doesn't get the job done. But most importantly, how they've been able to grow together as young men and as a family here.
Next day's function, high class luncheon. Food is served in your stone cold money.
So, pardon the technical difficulties there. But hey, look, I'm down with busting a move anytime.
Listen, that's Young MC now. You're talking about me and you.
I got no problem busting a move now. You might not want to see me do it.
Well, I don't know if my copay allow it nowadays, but I might have one move left in me, but I don't know if I want to use it tonight. Got New Year's Eve coming up, maybe.
We do. So Tyler Denny gonna kick off for Prince Avenue. They've done a really good job of making sure they kick it away from the guys on that back line. It hops over Coney's head, and it's gonna be fielded at the 25, and a good return for Swainsboro all the way up to the, let's see where they spot this out. They're gonna have it on the plus side of the 50, I think.
Great field position. That was an excellent block out on the edge by Swainsboro. Kick return guy just actually pancaked the contained man for Prince, and that allowed him to get another 10, 15 yards.
Yeah, that was Jordan Williams on the return. As you see, DeMello Jones, the big plays for the Tigers, the 96-yard. I thought it was 98. Either way, it was a long way. DeMello Jones.
I guarantee he thought it was 98.
So, the big pick six by DeMello Jones and the block punt by Skylar Coney, and Tarver was the one who blocked. Tony ended up getting, Tony ended up recovering a fumble on a punt return. So let's see. They're going to bring it back.
Replay fixed the spot.
All right, let's bring in Dave Reynolds. Give Dave the first opportunity to explain what happened on that play right there.
Yeah, again, the kind of tight play on the sideline, a lot of bodies there, and then replay can see where the ball actually went out of bounds, so correctly move the spot back a couple yards.
Love it. DeMello Jones gets the ball after that was corrected, and Jones is able to run it up to the 50-yard line.
Let's see their adjustment. Looked like to me Prince ran the ball a little bit more. Now let's see, they're coming out with Edenfield at quarterback a little more.
From the 45-yard line, handoff goes to Jordan Williams. Jordan Williams on the cutback. And Williams all the way down to the 31-yard line. Did not see Jordan Williams carry the ball much at all in that first half, but that's a big carry right there. He rushed for 1,200 yards this season.
Show some burst there. I love how patient he is. Looking to press the hole, foot in the ground. Nice move there. Finished off, moved the chains.
It was an 18-yard pickup down to the 32, 1st and 10. That was just the second carry of the game for Jordan Williams. He's up to 14 yards, had a -4 in the first half. Swainsboro right back down there, 1st and 10 from the 32. Jordan Williams again rushes down to the 24.
Interesting, they put DeMello Jones as wide as you could possibly have him, and Prince is double teaming him, so it takes an extra guy out of the box. Yep. And they're running against that lighter box. If you're going to double team him, they're going to spread you out, and you have no run support from that back safety.
So brings up 2nd down and 2 from the 24. Swainsboro down 10, but fighting to get right back in this game. They've done a great job. It appeared they were going to be down 28-6 at one point. Got the pick 6 from DeMello Jones, and they have been counterpunching ever since.
Delay of game. Yeah, you do not want that on 2nd and 3. That will drive you crazy, but you also got a sophomore quarterback.
Delay.
Trying to get the signal in.
5-yard penalty.
Man,
remains
you
2.
do not want to lose yards. You see Coach Roberts just walks it off. He knows he's got a young quarterback. Got to breathe, get back. And Matt, that takes you from 2nd and 2 to 2nd and 7.
Had a great time visiting with Scott Roberts this week. As we mentioned, they started the season 8-0, and he didn't feel like they were playing great football. It took a couple of losses there at the end of the regular season to get the players' attention. Ball goes out here to DeMello Jones, and he's going to have the 1st down at the 21-yard line.
I tell you, he is strong, man, because he just runs through arm tackles. Always finishes standing up.
That was an 8-yard pickup for DeMello Jones. I like the rhythm with which Swainsboro's running their offense right now.
And obviously the first adjustment they had, let's put Edenfield at quarterback. Let's give us a vertical threat, a passing threat. Now they're going to go DeMello Wildcat here on 1st down.
Getting the play call. He's looking for it. Looks like they were having some trouble getting the play into DeMello Jones. They might have to burn a timeout.
Yep.
And they're going to have to.
Timeout, Swainsboro. Their 1st or 2nd half.
Well, you want to get the play in there. It's a 1st and 10. You don't want to take a penalty.
No, not right now.
Same time, my goodness, you want to keep that timeout for your back pocket for a tight game going down the stretch here, but they had to burn it. But going back to what I was saying, Coach Jones said all season long we kept telling the guys, you got to do this, you got to do that. They weren't getting, didn't feel like we were playing up to our capability. But when you're 8-0, it's hard to get kids to listen to you.
And you like me, you just sit there and kind of watch Swainsboro 8-0. You think, you know what, Prince and Swainsboro sooner or later are going to meet back up again. And next thing you know, they take 2 losses, and you're like, what's going on? And it caused them to go on the road. You look at that opening bracket, and you're thinking, man, Swainsboro's got to go 4 in a row on the road.
Became just the 12th team in state history to win 4 straight games on the road to get to the state championship game. The last to do it was Colquitt County. 1st and 10. Ball is at the 21 coming out of the timeout. Williams in motion. DeMello Jones going to keep it instead, and he's got another 1st down as DeMello Jones rambles down to the 9-yard line.
Man, I absolutely love this play call. Get some eye candy motion. They seal off the backer 33 because once Bradley has to go with that flow a little bit, it's too late, because if they get just a piece of the middle linebacker, the crease is there, and Jones gets it. Love that play design.
1st and goal from the 9-yard line. Swainsboro trying to answer Prince Avenue's early 3rd quarter touchdown.
See the box, got 2 out here on Jones.
Toss goes to Williams. Short side run for Jordan Williams. Down to the 6 he goes.
And I tell you, Matt, we're starting to see some movement out of this Swainsboro offensive line. They're starting to establish themselves. Look at this. Look at that block there on 12. 33. We're starting to get to those 2nd level linebackers, which we didn't see a ton of in the 1st half.
51, Kaysen Palmer, their center, his 50th start. Shannon Ricks, their left guard, an all-state offensive lineman for them, did not play last year, got hurt. He's back this year for his junior season.
Same play.
2nd down. Williams down to the 3.
Loved it because they give it to him this time. Same formation, same motion, but he gives it instead of keeping it.
That was Jake Atham making the tackle, playing both ways. It's one of the things I love about single A football.
Time of year, man.
You're going to see so many guys going both ways, offense and defense.
Good chance to see him in Rome in a couple of weeks at Georgia Elite Classic. Second year in a row for Atha.
3rd down and goal from the 3. Jones going to keep it right up the middle. He's going to get stopped at the 2.
Yeah, they crashed at that time. Good job converging on the quarterback. Watch Austin Head, 56 there. Actually, it's number 1. Giddens comes in. Head comes in behind him there to help clean that up.
4th down and goal. They're going for it, of course. They don't kick. They don't even kick extra points, so they're going for it right here.
What a play right here in the 3rd quarter. Opening drive for Swainsboro, down 10.
4th and goal from the 2. Got Stewart in there to block. Gonna follow him and get into the end zone for the score. How about big Jared Stewart running convoy for DeMello Jones, and he just piles in right behind him.
Zero doubt who was going to run that play. Good job by Swainsboro blocking up front, seal off the defensive end there, and he does the rest. They had a double team on 56. Give him a little bit of crease, and that's all Jones needs.
Gerard Stewart just collapsed the defender.
Yes, he did.
And Jones ran up behind him, and now Tarver in there to take the snap out of the shotgun on this 2-point conversion try. They're going to run a reverse to Jones, and he's going to find the end zone for 2. 28-26.
It's been a while since I've seen a player take a game over like this, Matt.
And DeMello Jones is doing just that.
Prince Avenue has no answer for DeMello Jones.
He has scored all 26 points for Swainsboro today. 4 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion. It is a 28-26 game.
Kind of takes you back to that old Nick Marshall Wilcox County team. Nick Marshall would take a game over from every possible way, and DeMello Jones has got his team within 2, and what an answer to start the second half. And it started, Matt, with good field position on that kick return.
Can't throw the ball, no problem. Don't have a passing game, no big deal. Although Swainsboro does have 82 yards passing today, 59 of it came on about a 5-yard pass to DeMello Jones, who took it the other 54. And the kickoff coming down from the 5. Cosby on the return up to the 31. And that's where Prince will go on offense. 16-yard return by Cosby, who's had an active day. Let's send it down to Autumn Johnson.
Hey guys, well, we just saw DeMello Jones just go for all 26 points for this game, and he's not slowing down anytime soon. I asked Coach Roberts about him, as we know him as a football player, the X's and O's, but I wanted to know more about him beyond that. He told me he's an unselfish player, great teammate, wants to win at all costs, and he has a lot of attention on him ahead of this championship game, but he doesn't let that get to him. It's his senior year, and usually seniors start to shut down around this time, but not him. He went down after halftime in last year's game, and he wasn't able to finish the game. That stuck with him, and now he wants revenge in this game.
Here's the run by Hudson Hill. No, pardon me, that was Cosby again on the run, and he gets up to the 37-yard line. As we wind down close to 2 minutes to play here in the third quarter.
Whoever's in charge of getting the reconditioning done at Swainsboro, that account's going to get their money's worth this year.
Philo gonna gun it deep and turn around and caught at the 27-yard line, and there's Hudson Hill.
Great throw by Aaron Philo, and the freshman makes a great catch.
38-yard completion.
Wow.
You're looking at a kid, he's a freshman, 72 balls this year as a 9th grader. He's going to have a chance to end up as one of the all-time pass catchers in state history if he keeps this up. And he's off to a great start, a great jump start. Most players don't even get on the field or be on the team as a 9th grader.
And Coach Vandegrift said this might be our first ever 4-4 guy.
Yeah. Compared him a lot to Bailey Stockton. Of course, if he gets to 4-4, he's going to be faster than Bailey.
Yep.
And Bailey, one of the all-time favorites to watch here on GPB after the performance he had last year in this state final against Swainsboro. And Cosby on the carry. And Cosby down to the 12-yard line. And Bailey is a great example. You should look at Cosby on the run here. Bailey's a great example of a player. I mean, he didn't have a whole lot going on recruiting-wise until that state championship.
I think
game.
he was going to maybe Austin Peay or somewhere, and got hurt.
Yeah.
He got hurt, so he's kind of lost in the shuffle. One of the all-time state championship performances. Never forget it.
Philo pump fake, look into the end zone. Caught by Dockery for the touchdown. 12-yard touchdown catch for C.J. Dockery. It's his 2nd catch of the game for a score.
Philo had him here a little bit early, but still good ball. Great area there on the run, and just drops it in there for a touchdown. Dockery does a good job getting his feet down. And what an answer again by Prince Avenue.
And Philo now with 55 touchdown passes. He is 1 off the record for a single season. And the kick is up, and it did make it through. And it's 35-26. Your Governor's Red Ribbon Campaign scoring drive. 5 plays, 69 yards. And a quick answer by the Wolverines after Swainsboro had pulled to within 2. But don't be changing that channel.
No.
Because the Tigers still have that guy wearing number 1. And the Wolverines have that guy wearing 1-1. Aaron Philo today, 249 yards. He is now just 52 yards away from setting the all-time passing record for a career and breaking Trevor Lawrence's record.
Georgia Tech's kind of ironic. Those 2 kids doing battle in Atlanta. They'll probably play a couple times, a couple blocks over over the next couple of years.
There you see Philo, the Georgia Tech commit on the left. DeMello Jones, the Georgia Bulldogs commit on the right. Both of them having spectacular games here in the state final, and that's the way it's supposed to be. As the ball is going to hit the end zone and be non-returnable, Swainsboro is going to get it at the 20.
I'll tell you right now, Greg Vandegrift looked at him and said, this thing better go through that end zone. They better not be at the 2.
Could you imagine DeMello Jones taking that ball at the 1?
And giving him some running space?
Oh, my gosh. He's getting ready to go back out there on offense. He has scored all 26 points for the Swainsboro Tigers today. 4 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion. What else does he have left in his bag of tricks before he starts bowl practice with the Georgia Bulldogs?
Pretty soon, and ironically, Kirby Smart, the very first day Kirby Smart could be on the road last Monday. You know where his first stop was? Swainsboro High School.
Committed to the Georgia Bulldogs last March 17th. Quinn Brown on the carry, and Quinn Brown blasts through a couple of tackles and has the first down at the 34.
I'm telling you, Swainsboro's offensive line is coming alive. Getting people, knocking them back. Look at that. Nobody there for 5, 6, 7, 8 yards, Matt.
And they're starting to be able to run the ball with some authority now. That was a 14-yard pickup right there. And this team that's built on the ground game, only 54 yards rushing prior to that carry right there, but it's the timeliness of those rushes. DeMello Jones makes the catch, and he's going to be stopped in his tracks by Luke Darling, the junior corner.
They were ready for that one.
Well, you better be there when he catches it.
Yes, and they were.
To wrap up and get him on the ground, because if he gets a step on you, we've seen what that can become.
You could see him moving as soon as that motion to that way.
You saw Gerard Stewart, the fullback / linebacker. He was coming out there. And that is the end of the quarter. He was coming out there to throw the block, and they were able to blow up the play before he got there.
Yep.
We're headed to the fourth quarter here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Prince Avenue trying to go back-to-back titles and leading by 9.
The GHSA football playoffs and championships are brought to you by Alpha Insurance. We're more than just an insurance company. We're a part of your community.
What you doing?
Hey, just finishing this claim to get Dave back on the road.
Nice. I wonder what Dave's doing.
You do your thing. We've got you covered.
You know, I'm a person too.
Half of the nation's opioid overdoses happen right at home because people don't understand the dangers of taking an oxy or perk with a glass of alcohol for stress or to sleep. Learn how to protect your family from opioid overdose at opioidresponse.info.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, let's go.
Start of the fourth quarter at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Prince Avenue on top of Swainsboro. 35-26 here in the Class 1A Division I Championship. Let's check in with Autumn Johnson.
Thank you, guys. Well, this is a very special senior class for Prince Avenue. They've been to the state championship every single year together. So I had head coach Vandergeer tell me what he thought was special about this group. And it's the fact that they don't take anything for granted, and that they stress to these younger guys, hey, don't take anything for granted. You cannot be that team that doesn't get the job done. And they treat every state championship game like it's the first. But most importantly, how these guys have grown together as brothers and as a family.
Well, they're going for their second straight state championship in their third in 4 years. He has turned them into a state powerhouse, playing in their fourth consecutive finals. And he said, you know, after they won that first state championship, or actually going into their first state championship with his son Brock Vandergriff, that senior season, they were having trouble getting people on the schedule.
Yep.
And DeMello Jones took an awkward step right there, going to get about 2 or 3 yards on the play. And actually going back to before that senior year, when they turned the corner, back those days, it was Elka that held the hammer.
Yes.
And Elka just blew them out. The next year, they come back, and I think it was the junior year for Brock.
Semifinal game.
And it was 62-57. They
Yes.
lost, but he said they knew at that point they had closed the gap.
Yes.
And he felt like even though it was a loss, it was that game that kind of signaled to the entire program, all the players and the coaches in the program, we've turned the corner, we've gotten there.
Yep.
Senior year, Brock Vandergriff led his dad's team to the state championship.
Timeout.
Swainsboro calls the timeout with 3rd and 7 coming up. Let's take a look at the Prince Avenue Resume, it's brought to you by DBHDD.
Swainsboro.
Two-time state champs, 2020, last year 2022, their 4th straight finals appearance. They've won 4 straight region titles, 151-22, their record since 2011, and they've reached the quarterfinals or better 11 of the last 12 seasons.
Yeah, they've had to go. They've had to play Hammond in South Carolina. They had to play Baylor out of Tennessee. They had to go play a team down in Pensacola this year. And they've had to go all over the places. They've been to Nashville and trying to find games. So Coach Vandergriff, with the schedule next year, when he does release it, he's playing a lot of teams in Georgia, but he's playing them all the way up from single A to 6A.
Well, they are 11 minutes and 13 seconds away from winning the state championship again, but Swainsboro has given them a battle. They come storming back after trailing 21-6. Facing 3rd and 7. Enfield in their quarterback, going to fire it. It's picked off at the 44-yard line. And that is Cosby who comes up with the interception. What a game that young man has had.
Man, he has. Stays on this. Watch him step right underneath this throw. Good job knowing that was going to be a stick route right at the yard marker. And he just jumps right in front of that ball.
Connor Cosby gets a pick. Rusty to go along with his 19 carries for 113 yards and a touchdown, 4 catches and 25 yards. Reminds me a little bit of Jason Brett last year in the state championship game for Prince Avenue, leading them to that victory over Swainsboro. So Wolverines back on offense. Gonna sling it out here. It's complete. And Hudson Hill is gonna get thrown to the ground at the 38-yard line. And this is not unlike what happened last year.
You got to wonder how tired is Swainsboro on defense. These guys have played a lot of snaps, both sides of the football. And you see the pace that Prince is going. They're on the line of scrimmage again.
Well, they felt like they got embarrassed in that 4th quarter. I'm talking about Swainsboro. They got embarrassed in that 4th quarter. They had a chance to win the game. And Prince Avenue was able to put their foot on the gas in that final period and pull away for the victory, 52-34. Does the same thing happen again here in 2023? Prince with the ball and up 9 with under 10.5 now to play. Can Swainsboro answer? Can DeMello Jones come up with a few more spectacular plays? Philo underneath it goes, and inside the 30, Dockery all the way down to the 14-yard line.
Love the play call there by John Rick. Slips that screen right back underneath with some motion wide. See everybody's eyes, he fakes it, comes right back underneath there to Dockery. Love the play design.
1st and 10, ball at the 14-yard line. Cosby going to get stuck at the line of scrimmage and take a loss on the play. Got great penetration that time for the Tigers. Sammy Trey Turner making that tackle at the defensive tackle position.
Got to think Vandergriff will take a field goal here if he has to.
Philo sitting at 275 for the day. Cosby on the cutback down to the 9. And they're going to be about 4 yards short.
Going empty. Big play here now.
Third down, they'll call it 5. The line to gain appears to be the 5. I think it's a little bit shorter than 5 for them. Or maybe the 4.
He can run it.
Philo gonna run it, cut it up in there, and score the touchdown for Prince. 9-yard touchdown run for Aaron Philo. That's the 4th touchdown he has accounted for today. Passing, now 2 rushing. And it's 41-26.
Yeah, just no one out here. Everybody runs off in coverage. Philo, I saw it coming from up his elevated view. Philo just sees it, tucks that thing up for a touchdown.
Denny on for the PAT, and he sticks it through, and it's 42-26 with 8:34 left in the state championship game. The Wolverines have stretched it out now to a 16-point lead.
Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is brought to you in part by Cigna Healthcare. Cigna Healthcare is a proud partner of Georgia Public Broadcasting and Football Fridays. Cigna Healthcare's mission is to improve the health and vitality of those we serve. Visit Cigna.com to learn how you can support your physical and emotional well-being. Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is brought to you in part by DBHDD. Win by learning about safe usage of prescription opioids.
Half of the nation's opioid overdoses happen right at home because people don't understand the dangers of taking an oxy or perk with a glass of alcohol for stress or to sleep. Learn how to protect your family from opioid overdose at opioidresponse.info.
Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is brought to you in part by Regions Bank. Get back in the game with Regions Bank.
Down to 8.5 left in this Class 1A Division I championship game. Prince Avenue, 42-26 lead on Swainsboro. Matt Stewart along with Rusty Mansell and Autumn Johnson. Aaron Philo chasing the ring, chasing the record.
That ring is more important, I can assure you, but they come back out on offense next time. If they get a stop, that thing's going to be in the air. I can assure you that.
Oh, trust me, they know what the record is.
They know exactly where that record is for that young man.
And he's also 1 touchdown pass away from tying the state single season touchdown passing record. Squib kick going to go on through, and it's going to bounce out of bounds at the 38-yard line. So a good job by Swainsboro not to touch that ball.
Yep.
And the Tigers going to take over.
All right. Kick out of bounds of the kicking team. I had 5 yards from the 37, 1st and 10 from the 42.
So there you go. Ball's going to be set down at the 42-yard line. Swainsboro not out of this game by any means. But they're going to have to find a way to get some stops. They can score. We know that. That guy can score. We know that. Can they stop him? Can they get scores and then stop Prince and win this game?
Got to get some stops.
So 1st and 10, ball at the 42. Enfield in there at quarterback. Pocket breaks down, he's in trouble, and that is Christian Garrett with the quarterback sack.
There's the big 4-star. He just swim moves a double team. They had 2 guys on him, but what a move there to get upfield and make that sack.
Consensus 4-star, rated as high as the number 9 defensive tackle in the class of 2025 by On3. Number 12 junior prospect in the state of Georgia. 13 offers, including Georgia. 2nd down and 19. Jordan Williams finds his way to the sideline and wisely gets out of bounds, so he gets the yardage and he stops the clock.
Good job there. Patient running, getting in behind your blockers, weaving in and out of traffic. Press the offense, press the line of scrimmage, find that crease. Good move right there on Dockery. Oh, buckled Dockery there.
I love the clock awareness as well for him to get out of bounds and not, stay in bounds to try to get another yard or two, recognizing it's more important to conserve clock at this point than get that additional yard. But now 3rd and 6, and no doubt it's got to be 4-down territory here. Edenfield getting the run at quarterback, looking for DeMello Jones, and Edenfield going to run it himself and pick up the first down. How about that from the page of the playbook that nobody expected to be open in this game, and Edenfield picks up the first down.
Yeah, got to do what you got to do right here. And a sophomore going to give a pump fake, comes right in. Good job blocking on the linebacker. 33 clearing him out, and your sophomore quarterback picks up a critical first down at this point in the game.
1st and 10, ball at the 47. Clock approaching 7 minutes left in regulation. The ball is fumbled. They take a big loss on that play as Edenfield couldn't make the exchange with Jordan Williams. Now things get a little shaky out there as the guys exchange some words after the tackle.
Yeah, just mishandled that. Young quarterback. Bad snap, but lucky to get that ball. So that play started with a bad snap. It's going to get chippy. These two teams have played back-to-back for the state championship. You're getting close to the end here. Prince is trying to finish this thing off, but been two really good battles out of these two teams 2 years in a row.
Ball goes on the outside for the first time to L.J. Morgan. L.J. Morgan with the catch and run, and a first down at the 37. As that goes for 15 yards.
Getting this young quarterback in a little bit of a groove. Missed tackle there, and he gets upfield, moves the chains. Good job after that negative play on the bad snap.
Got to play with some urgency, though, as the clock is now approaching 6 minutes. Quinn Brown on the run, and a gaping hole, and the cutback. Quinn Brown to the end zone. Touchdown, Swainsboro.
Boy, did they need that answer right there. And you see the speed, Matt. Open field, and Brown takes it to the house.
37 yards on the touchdown run by Quinn Brown.
Breaking tackles, and once he gets there, turns on that 5th gear. He takes it for the touchdown.
Young man who's been offered by Coastal Carolina and UAB, just a junior who's rushed for over 1,000 yards this season. And that is his 15th total touchdown. Got him back in the game. They'll be going for 2 right here to make it an 8-point game. Jones, the quarterback, out of the shotgun, looking to run behind Stewart and Jones. Did he get there? We might have our first review.
We might have a review right here.
They're looking for the score. They don't get it. We might have the challenge flag thrown right here by head coach Roberts.
He's
got the red challenge flag. This is a big moment in state playoff history. Is he going to throw the flag? He's looking up at the monitor.
I don't know if they're going to get a replay out of the monitor. But
here it comes. He wants to see that before he throws the challenge flag. Right there. It's going to be hard to tell from that angle whether he got across and breaks the plane of the goal. They couldn't really tell from that angle whether he did or not.
Statesboro is challenging whether the runner reached the goal line. Play is under video review.
Well, let's see. Does the ball get there?
That's going to be the angle right there. If we have the view.
And this might be the best angle that we get right here.
Yep.
As you're going to see the ball along with the goal line. And still, that's not a clear view to overturn the call, I don't think.
Nope.
I haven't seen anything out of the 3 camera angles that we've seen that shows that the ball broke the plane of the goal and would thus overturn the call that is made on the field. We'll step aside as the play is under review. Meantime, the big touchdown run by Quinn Brown has them back in the game. But is it an 8-point deficit or is it a 10-point deficit? We'll find out when we get back.
Cigna Healthcare is a proud partner of Georgia Public Broadcasting and Football Fridays. Cigna Healthcare's mission is to improve the health and vitality of those we serve. Visit Cigna.com to learn how you can support your physical and emotional well-being. Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is brought to you in part by DBHDD and the Governor's Red Ribbon Campaign. Be kind to your mind. Live drug-free. DBHDD and the Governor's Red Ribbon Campaign is all about Georgians standing together for substance misuse prevention. Be kind to your mind. Live drug-free. Learn more about healthy alternatives and living a drug-free lifestyle at GARedribbon.org.
At Regions Bank, we're here to listen to your needs, and we'll customize a plan to help you reach your financial goals. Our service to Georgia goes beyond banking to creating more inclusive prosperity in our communities. From education to financial wellness to economic development, we're working to level the playing field so more people can succeed and our communities can thrive.
While we've got a quick break in the action, did you know that the same area of just one football field can contain up to 95 termite colonies? That's why you need Breda Pest Management to defend your home. Breda, the official pest control of high school football.
So the officials have made a decision.
After video review, the call is confirmed. The runner did not raise the goal line. Point is no good.
And the key component there, we saw all three angles that the officials had to work with, and there was no video evidence to support overturning the call on the field.
Correct. And that's what it's here for. You know what I mean? And pretty clear immediately that it wasn't, but you had to challenge that at this point in the game. Now the question is, do you go onside right here?
Well, you know what? They believe that they're going to. They've got 10 guys stacked up there and just one back to receive at the 19-yard line. But history was made right there. That was the first replay review challenge we've had in Georgia high school football history, and the officials got it right. So anticipating onside kick here with D.D. Coleman, defensive end, who's also their kicker. Let's see how well he can onside kick it. Ball bounces up and it's covered by Prince at the 48. Good. Let's check back in with Autumn Johnson.
Hey guys, we just watched Quinn Brown give them some life on that last possession for Swainsboro, and Coach Scott Roberts said the biggest lesson that he learned from last year's championship loss was the fact that even though you might be successful, no matter how much success you have, there's still going to be some struggle. However, teams were able to expose some of their flaws early in the season, but that helped them get better for this moment. He also added it's hard to come off of a championship run. You have to improve, and we have. We're more disciplined than we were last year, and this game is far from over for you guys.
Yeah, Prince up 10. They got the ball with 5:59 left in regulation. Philo wants to go to the air. He's got a clean pocket to work with. Throws on the drag to Hudson Hill, and Hudson Hill is going to get close to 10. Great awareness again by Prince Avenue players to know where they need to go and need to get the first down.
Man, he missed a guy running down the middle of the field, and Swainsboro got away with a busted coverage right there, because that could have been a knockout blow.
First and 10. Ball is at the 41. Hudson Hill, 9 catches. 97 yards prior to that catch right there. So he's up over 100 now. 10 for 107. What a performance by the freshman today. Cosby Solid 4 yards on the play.
He's going to sleep well tonight.
Man, he's had a great performance, offense and defense. Had an interception as well. And the clock will be near the 5-minute mark by the time Prince Avenue snaps it again. Taking their time, getting up to the line of scrimmage. You see Aaron Philo 16 yards away from breaking Trevor Lawrence's all-time passing record in the state, and his team's up 10 in the state championship game.
Got one-on-one coverage.
Handoff goes to Cosby, and he's down to the 31. Does not pick up the first down, but it's going to be 3rd and 1 to go.
Swainsboro, 1 timeout left. That correct?
Swainsboro has
1. Yes.
1 timeout remaining.
Yep.
Prince has their full complement of 3. Ball at the 32. Run by Philo. Oh my goodness, they might review this again because that's where that knee hit. He slid further than the line, but where did he hit?
And they're moving the chains.
They're putting the ball at the 31. I thought he had to get to the 30, but they're going to call that a first down. Yeah, man, 31 might be generous.
They're going to review this from upstairs.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the 31 spot might be generous. I think his behind hit at the 32. So this is going to be a big
video review.
Yeah, this is going to be a big call right here.
Yes, and that came down from the booth, correct? Upstairs, yes.
It did. It came from the booth.
Let's see right here.
Yeah, he's down
31 and a half, maybe.
Yeah, I don't think he quite got to the 31. Now this is going to be a much clearer video look for them than that 2-point play. I mean, he's wide open, no defenders around him. You get a much better feel for where that ball should be. And now already twice in this game, without it being announced, they changed the spot of the ball through video review upstairs.
Let's see.
So here's another look at it, and that knee is down. Wow, he looks from that angle.
Elbows down. Elbows down too.
From that angle, it looks like the 32. So from what I've seen, here's a good one right here. You're almost straight down the line, and where? Let's see, right there, knee down.
So that's a 31.
It's close to the 31.
Yes, I believe the 31. That would put it 4th and about 1.5. Is that correct?
Well, the 31 was the line to gain.
Okay.
So if they say he reached the 31, it's a first down.
Okay.
If they say he reached the 31 plus a foot, he's got a foot to go. So replay review creeps up on us and grabs us here in the 4th quarter. Got an answer for the officials.
After video review, the runner went down short of the line of game. We're going to place the ball just inside the 32. It'll be 4th down with a running clock on my ready.
Well, I love it. The officials, they got the call right there.
Yes, I love it. Call down.
So it's going to be 4th down and less than a yard, or right at a yard. Looks like they've got it spotted almost on the 32.
See if they go under center. I don't know if they've been under center all night long.
They are going to go under center with Philo and a power backfield.
T formation, man. Too tight, T formation. We're going back to the 1968 state championship right here.
They did not have review in 1968.
They had T formation.
They hardly had TVs in 1968. 4th and 1. And Philo going to follow his blockers and pick up the first down on a huge run on 4th and 1. That might have been the big run that puts this game to bed. 11-yard pickup for Philo.
Now here's the question: how many yards does he need to break the record?
He needs 16 to break it.
And they're at the.
He needs 16 to break it. They're at the 21 to answer your question. He needs 16 to break it. And he needs one more touchdown to tie the single-season touchdown passing record, too. He could get it all with one throw. 1st and 10, clock goes under 4. Going to throw it to Hudson Hill. Hudson Hill going to go down at the 15-yard line. That is an extraordinary freshman wide receiver right there. He's going to have a huge career.
Yep.
That's 11 catches for him today. That gives him 83 for the season. 291 the total for Philo today. He needed to get to 301 to set the record. 2nd down and 4. Going to the air again. It's caught, and the tight end Hurley has the 1st down at the 7. Chipping away at that record.
I don't have a feeling you're going to see a rushing attempt here.
He is 1 from tying and 2 from breaking Trevor Lawrence's all-time state passing record right here, and it's 1st and goal to go at the 7.5. Play clock comes down to 10. They're taking their time, winding it down. Game clock is under 2:50. 1st and goal to go from the 8. Pass is thrown and touchdown, and that's the record. 2 of them. Dockery with his 3rd touchdown catch of the day. Philo becomes the all-time career passing leader in Georgia high school football history, and he ties the single-season record with his 56th touchdown pass.
And he gives the Joe Burrow ring me. And that touchdown pass there does a lot for a state championship ring and the state championship record book. He knows it now.
48-32, getting slaps on the helmet. He gets the record and ties another. And in all likelihood, put the seal on a 2nd consecutive state championship for the Wolverines.
Yeah, he walks right by Buster Faulkner, Georgia Tech offensive coordinator. He was one of the first people standing on the sidelines when he came off. And yeah, I'm sure they swapped that game ball out.
Yep, there it goes. Ball goes to the sideline. Smiles all around for Aaron Philo. Folks, you're looking at the all-time passing yardage leader in Georgia high school football history.
Emotional. You see him crying right there. A lot goes into it. A lot of the teammates, coaching staff. He understands the scope of the record he just broke.
And there the ball goes in the suitcase.
There's athletic director Ricketts, and he put that thing in the suitcase.
Let's go. You did that shit, man.
What a day for Aaron Philo and the Prince Avenue Wolverines.
There's Bailey Stockton giving him. Bailey Stockton gives him a little hug there on the sideline. Those two, a lot of yards over the last couple years.
And the PAT is up and good. 49-32. And what a spectacular show we've seen from the Georgia Tech and the Georgia commit today. Aaron Philo for Prince Avenue.
No doubt.
DeMello Jones. Swainsboro going to play for the University of Georgia.
When you come to an event in this building and you got 2 Power 5 players, you want to see them separate from the rest. And today, Aaron Philo and DeMello Jones put on a show.
So he ties the passing touchdowns for a season record with number 56. And he's number 3 on the career passing touchdowns list. That's probably where he's going to finish, behind Gunnar Stockton and Trevor Lawrence for the career passing touchdowns. He ties Kari Lane for the single season touchdown record. And he sets the state's all-time passing record, and he wins a 2nd straight state championship. unless Swainsboro's got some magic left in those legs of theirs. And that's Coney on the return up to the 49-yard line, and Swainsboro goes back on offense. Trust me, they haven't given up on this game yet.
And they are one breath away from scoring every single time they touch the football. And what a battle by Swainsboro, man. Just felt like they couldn't knock them out all day long. Prince would get momentum and Swainsboro would answer back, and here late in the fourth quarter just kind of ran out of gas, Matt.
DeMello Jones has scored 26 of their 32 points today. And he heads back out there, lines up at wide receiver, Edenfield at quarterback. Ball going to go low here to Jordan Williams, and the ball comes out at the end of the play. And let's see, they have not ruled it down yet by contact with the ground. Prince Avenue celebrates as if they got the ball. They did not spot that down. And we're going to have another review, I believe. Let's take a look at it here. Right there is the ball out. I believe he's down when it comes out.
Yep.
Yeah. Play is under further review.
Well, I think the review here is going to show that Swainsboro retains possession at the 47.
Prince Avenue.
So take another look at it right there. I think he's on his, it looks like Jordan Williams is on his back on the ground when the ball gets stripped out of his hands. He is down right there,
Yep.
and the ball is still in his possession.
Yep. Shouldn't that one take long, I don't think. And I'm correct. And the review is going upstairs. The guys on the field have nothing. They just get the message relayed down. Correct. Yep.
So that's tremendous. That's the way
I love that
replay review is
and
built.
Look how fast.
That's the way it's built. It's if the officials may have missed something, the replay review corrects it.
Ruling on the field of a fumble is confirmed. First down, Prince Avenue.
Oh wow. That surprises me.
Yep. Might have had a different view than we saw, but now here's the question. Are they going to throw for one more touchdown?
To get the state single season touchdown record, we shall see. Got the big one. He got the passing yardage record.
He's coming back out.
So Philo with 56 touchdown passes on the season is tied with Kari Lane for the single season touchdown passing record. Goes back out with 2:18 to go. Gonna toss it. That is a pass, by the way, to Hudson Hill. So that will add to the yardage, and Hudson Hill slides down inbounds at the 42-yard line, good for a first down.
Headsy play there by that freshman to stay in bounds.
We saw him in the Georgia Elite Classic last year in Rome.
I don't have the roster in front of me, but I'm hoping he's in that game this year. If he's not, I might know some people.
That's his 12th catch of the day. Clock goes under 2 minutes to go. Prince Avenue just has to run out the clock here. 12 catches for 123 for Hudson Hill. First and 10, ball at the 42. Handoff again. So I think the answer to your question is no, they're not going to try to throw another touchdown pass.
Very safe play last time too, just to get those easy yards.
49-32. Prince Avenue counting down the seconds now to their second straight state championship. What a job by Swainsboro. Before we spend a lot of time here talking about what Prince Avenue did.
Yes, great job.
Swainsboro to go on the road, be 8-0, lose their last two, put themselves in a difficult situation to have to win 4 consecutive road games just to get back to the finals.
Yes. tough to lose 2 years in a row in the state championship, but it is hard to get the 2 state championships, and that's something that will take forever with this team. And certainly got a young quarterback. They got a 6'3" freshman linebacker.
Man down for Swainsboro is LaMarcus Webb. We saw Webb have a spectacular season this year. He had 12 solo tackles. The tackle he just made was his 12th solo tackle of the day.
So 30 tackles in the last 2 weeks.
Just a great way for LaMarcus Webb, the senior, to wrap up his high school football career. The only thing he didn't get at the end of it was the state championship, but certainly finished his career strong.
I tell you what, as we transition, and hoping this young man is okay here, as we transition into the next game between Manchester and Bowden, there probably not one person left in either one of these cities, because it is red on one side and it's looking blue on the other.
Yep. Hopefully he has not sustained anything serious here in the final seconds of this game. I would hate to see that. Scott Roberts, what a remarkable job he's done at this school. His first stint at the school, they had a change in administration. The new administration fired him after he went 10-2.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
But he got rehired, and the rest, as they like to say, is history. He's taken this Swainsboro team to 2 consecutive state titles. He was vindicated in the end, and his record and the performance of this team and the success of this program has vindicated him. As Prince Avenue gets ready to raise the trophy. But unfortunately, this game has come to a screeching halt at the end with the injury to Webb.
Yeah, man, hope he...
I was certainly hoping to bounce off the ground here on this one. So Prince Avenue in their 4th consecutive state finals. You see that loss to Elka in the 2nd round of 2019. That's the one we were talking about. That's the one that Coach
knew they were knocking on the doorstep then.
Felt like they had turned the corner. They'd finally closed the gap on the team at the time was the big power in single A, and that was Elka. And then they won their first in 2020 with Brock Vandergriff as the quarterback, defeating Trinity Christian. The next year, Trinity Christian with the Dallas brothers came up and got the big victory, and then about to make it 2 in a row over Swainsboro. So they get Webb to the sideline. Prince does not have to snap the ball again because the clock has restarted with Webb going to the sideline, and the teams head across the field to shake hands in a great show of sportsmanship. Prince Avenue wins their 2nd straight state championship, their 3rd in 4 years, as they knock off Swainsboro in consecutive seasons, 49-32, into the high school football career for that young man right there, number 1, DeMello Jones. He'll be practicing with the Georgia Bulldogs sooner than later.
Yeah, about 8 days.
He'll be with the Orange Bowl team as they take on Florida State. And Aaron Philo, he'll be heading off to Georgia Tech as the number 1 record holder in Georgia high school football history in passing yardage. A lot of times when you break these records, they're players you maybe have never heard of. Trevor Lawrence, you've heard of him.
Deshaun Watson, Gunnar Stockton.
And he etches his name in the record book atop all of those guys. And we look forward to a bright future for Aaron Philo at Georgia Tech.
Great young man. Can't say enough about him on and off the field. Just I've known him since the 8th, right at the end of the 8th, 9th grade, kind of covering Brock Vandergriff, and everybody kept saying, hey, here's the next one, here's the next one. And Greg Vandergriff, look, they lost like 4 guys. 4 guys left Prince because they knew this was the guy. And Greg Vandergriff told me, look, this is our next one, and he certainly was. 2 state championships he'll leave Prince with, and a lot of history.
Prince Avenue Wolverines, 49-32 winners over Swainsboro, and now the kids head over there to slap hands with their classmates who are in the stands watching, and now they head to the victory podium where they get to raise the trophy and very small second place. I mean, not too far off on the second place part. You get to talk to John Nelson.
That's huge.
That's
you wait all year to do that.
That's right behind the trophy.
You wait all year to do that.
Right behind getting the trophy, you talk to John Nelson. Greg Vandergriff has established, I mean, you talk, regardless of classification, pound for pound, this is one of the finest programs in the state of Georgia.
And not only do they have elite quarterback, I think their lines of scrimmage is what separates them. Up front, they've got offense, defensive line. Really, it's amount of, at this classification, at this level, they're just different up front. And they got 8 starters returning on both sides of the football.
One of them, though, is not Aaron Philo, who goes for 31-40 passing, 31 for 40 passing, 320 yards, 3 touchdowns. Connor Cosby, 24 carries for 136 and a touchdown. Philo even had 84 yards rushing himself as well. Just an all-around great performance by him today. And the freshman wide receiver, one of those guys coming back, Hudson Hill, 12 catches for 123. Another guy coming back, the sophomore wide receiver, C.J. Dockery, 8 catches for 100 yards and 3 touchdowns. The cupboard is full, and the future is bright for Coach Greg Vandergriff and the Prince Avenue Wolverines.
Yeah, they're saying ring me. That's the new thing now. And Joe Burrow kind of started that when he came off in the national championship. They called a timeout, brought him off the field, and he said, ring me. And you see the players doing that here for Prince Avenue, and certainly deserved it.
Swainsboro. There's Coach Mark Rick, his son John Rick, the offensive coordinator of the 2-time state champions, here to take in the state championship victory for the Prince Avenue Wolverines here tonight.
I think you run some plays off. You think you run some ideas off him? What you think? What you think, Dad?
I'm guessing that they do.
It's kind of ironic. You got a couple of guys that played for, you look at John Rick, his son there, offensive coordinator, calling the plays.
Got himself a big family.
Got Mike Bobo's son starting linebacker there, and Jake Bobo. See Catherine Rick there with her grandkids.
How fun, a family affair here for the Rick family to get the championship. The Vandergriff family, one of the great athletic families in the state of Georgia. You know about Brock, but Coach's daughters who are spectacular athletes as well. Across the board, softball, volleyball, the whole deal. And Prince Avenue etching their name in the record book here with a 2nd consecutive state title. So Swainsboro up there along with Coach Scott Roberts to get the runner-up trophy. I know it's a little bitter for them right now. They played their hearts out, and DeMello Jones and his teammates put on a show.
Tell you what, man, they had 2 years, and I know it's a hard pill to swallow, losing 2 state championships, but they will understand as life goes on what they accomplished to make it to back-to-back state championships and how hard that is.
No doubt about it. The champions take the podium. And let's send it down to John Nelson.
Thank you very much, Matt Stewart. Once again, shout out to our friends from Swainsboro. Fantastic season for them, once again making it to the final game of the year. But it is time to present the trophy here in Class A. And once again to do it is the Executive Director of the Georgia High School Association, Dr. Robin Hines.
Thank you, John. First, I want to congratulate Swainsboro on a great season and for a great game tonight. Congratulations. All right. It's a great pleasure that Alpha Insurance and the Georgia High School Association get to present to you the state championship trophy for this year. Back-to-back, Coach. Congratulations. Coach, back-to-back. how's this compare with last time?
It's awesome. I like to give glory to God, our great community. Can't do it without great players. And how about the state record holder, Aaron Philo?
So, Coach, let me talk to you for a second. Dr. Hines mentioned back-to-back. I'll mention 3 and 4 years. How difficult is it to continue to have this standard of excellence to where you're making it to the last game of the year, winning the last game of the year, getting to it, winning it, and winning it? How difficult is it to come back?
Well, what's awesome right now is our kids are believing we can do it every year, and so they expect this. Nobody wants to go home week 11. Nobody wants to go home week 12. And so it's just a credit to the players and great coaches.
So then let me ask you this. You mentioned number 11, who last time I checked, he's pretty good at quarterback. Set a couple of records that'll be in the record books for quite some time. What about this group of seniors that's been with you for this run, getting 3 and 4? What's it been like to see them grow from freshmen to seniors and go out on top?
Just hats off to these guys. Again, 4 in a row. It can only be tied. It can never be broken at our school. Hats off to those guys.
Prince Avenue, once again, state champs in Class A. Matt and Rusty, take it away.
All right, thank you, John. Our Georgia Cotton Commission player of the game, Aaron Philo. What a performance here today by Prince Avenue to win the state championship.
Just so talented, and it starts with Aaron Philo. I know we talked about him so much today, but when you have a quarterback that's played this much, you can win state championship games, and they won 2 with him.
So Philo sets the record. He gets the ring. DeMello Jones had a spectacular day himself, scoring 26 of their 32 points here today in a losing effort. Manchester and Bowdoin, the Class A Division II championship is on deck, but first it's the post-game show with John and Hannah coming up next. 49-32 the final. Prince Avenue wins it again.
Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is presented by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety, reminding you to be safe on every trip. Buckle up, Georgia.
Riding down the road and you're doing just fine when a car in front of you crosses over the line. They're in your space, not looking at your face. Distracted drivers all over the place. Say, we will buckle up. Sing it. Say, we will buckle up.
This program on GPB is made possible in part by supporters of the Georgia High School Association, including the following.
Our number one priority is protecting our players. That's why we're writing new rules for the sport and developing innovative educational tools that protect our athletes. This is player protection. This is high school football.
Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is brought to you in part by DBHDD. Win by learning about safe usage of prescription opioids.
Half of the nation's opioid overdoses happen right at home because people don't understand the dangers of taking an oxy or perk with a glass of alcohol for stress or to sleep. Learn how to protect your family from opioid overdose at opioidresponse.info.
At TELUS Science Museum, the magic of discovery is larger than life. With tons of interactive exhibits and stunning visuals, come experience the magic of TELUS.
Yeah. I don't know about the TV, but the burgers are ready. Yeah.
Ooh, burgers,
All right.
burgers. I want a burger.
All right, I'll line up. Let's go.
Hey everyone, everyone. Welcome into the GPB Sports Tailgate Party. I'm Hannah Gooden. We are live at Mercedes-Benz Stadium for day one of the GHSA Girls and Boys Football Championships. We just wrapped up the first tackle game of the day. It was Single A Division I between Swainsboro and Prince Avenue Christian. It was a rematch of last year's championship game where PAC won. Let's take a look at the final score of the game, where the Wolverines will go back-to-back for their third state title in 4 years. The final score 49-32. The Tigers really fought hard, though. It was a great game. Quarterback Aaron Philo made history, breaking Trevor Lawrence's career passing record. And with that being said, I'm going to sit it down to the sidelines where Autumn is standing by with our Cotton Commission player of the game, Aaron Philo.
I sure am. Aaron Philo, back-to-back state championships. I mean, you guys were able to do this in 4 years, 3 titles, taking it home. Describe the legacy Prince Avenue was able to create and build here.
You know, it starts with hard work in the weight room and on the field. I think this is just a testament to how much work we put in on a daily basis and all throughout the season.
And you are the all-time career passing leader, passing Trevor Lawrence. What went through your mind when you broke the record, and what did it mean to you to share this moment with your guys?
I mean, I just want to give thanks to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. None of this is possible without him. I thank my teammates. You know, they've been through with me every step of the way. And so I really wasn't thinking about it, but when I came out to the sideline, they made it known that it happened. So.
And it's your senior year. You're going to be going right down the street to Georgia Tech. But what did it mean to you for these past 4 years to rock Prince Avenue on your chest?
You know, this school, this community, I think it's the best in the state. I'm so grateful for this place and all that it's done for me. It's going to be hard to leave this place behind, but I'm so thankful for the time that I've had there.
Well, congratulations, champ. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Autumn. Great job on the sidelines. That interview gave me chills. Look, I have chills.
I thought you were just called here by gate 2.
No, it's just what high school football is all about, John.
No question. And when we get to see these great communities like Prince Avenue Christian winning their third title in 4 years, seeing the fantastic talent that we've been able to see, like an Aaron Philo, who, remember, initially he was going to Minnesota. Now he's going over to the Flats. Saw some folks on the sidelines that might be interested in a lot of folks in making sure that those players stay where they are going to be declaring, and we'll know that in short order because signing day is just around the corner too. A lot of talent here and a lot of talent coming up next week.
And a lot of talent across the state the entire year. So a lot more teams and players to be crowned this week, John, but there has been so many that have excelled all season long, and it's time to unveil our 2023 GPB All-State team. Here are the All-Stars on offense.